Beautiful.
All right, this is real good right here. I'm liking this.
Hey, can y'all hear me good?
Absolutely.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
I can hear everybody.
All right. How y'all doing?
Oh, good, man. Good. Snacking down on some hamburger helper and
That's what's up. The
yeah.
wife and about to cook something soon, I guess.
I gotcha. All right, then. I guess we'll
Hey,
go ahead and get this started then, man. So, just to recap on some things, you know, of what we do. We we're not exactly like those, like those groups you see on the street that that like to preach. Now, granted, I know some of them actually do preach some good words out there, but at the same time, there's also many out there that that they don't bring what's true, and that's mainly what we are trying to do here. Like it's really rare nowadays, because there's so many of them that are still stuck in that teaching under them, like GMS, for instance. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen him or seen them or anything, but those guys, let me tell you, that they have no idea what they're talking about. None. None. And you know what? There's a lot of these people. There's also a lot of brothers that are also coming out of that. You know what I mean?
yeah, they are.
Yeah. There's a lot of brothers coming out of that, and the reason for that is, it's because of that, that spirit of truth. It doesn't feel right, and if it doesn't feel right, then obviously you're not going to stick around for it. It's the same reason why I never felt comfortable in the church, because I just never felt right, and I've
Yeah.
only been out, yeah, and I've only been twice.
And you are lucky.
I always thought that churches were answer giving places, not question taking. They always
Yeah.
tell you what the answer is, but you never ask the question.
Yeah.
You want to tell me how to live my life and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and that's pretty much that's
Like
pretty much
I
how it is everywhere.
like I was raised Pentecostal. Well, I really can't say Pentecostal. My
Right.
mother's Pentecostal. My father comes from a Pentecostal church. My, my,
Uh-huh.
my paternal grandparents are Pentecostal. But
Right.
but people inside church, I was like 9. I, I
Mm.
I didn't understand what I was looking at back then, but looking back now, I'm 31. They some of the most trifling, evilest, judgmental type people. That
Right.
basically it made me get repelled from every single thing that they were saying. I kind of threw the baby out with the bathwater, and I stayed away from religion all together up until recently. And I'm not saying I'm into it now, but there's lots of stuff that I can't ignore. It's just stuff that's right in front of you. How you gonna ignore it?
Exactly. Exactly. And when people go to these churches and everything, they figure, like you were saying, they figured that, well, I mean, I know this is that, and I know this means that, but at the same time, it's what you always get that feeling like, what am I missing? Like, I know I'm missing something, but I mean, if you ain't taught nothing, then you don't know nothing. So that's, if you're not taught the right way, you're not gonna walk the right way.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes. That's
Yeah.
how it goes.
Like I know I grew up in the church too and everything. Like I mean, all my life and everything, and I mean they don't really teach you anything. They like my man said, they just really tell you what to believe. It's really no in-depth study. Uh, it's a circus.
Yeah.
You know, it is.
Have, have y'all seen
Yep.
those videos where I forgot their name? This is a dude he's talking on it. I mean, he's a self-declared heathen. I know y'all seen him on YouTube. His name is calls himself that revolutionary with tattoos, and he talks about these videos where these preachers are talking about shooting people for not tithing, taking them out back and killing them, and all this other kind of stuff. Talking about that he wished he could, like some preacher was talking about setting up. He wish he could set up like metal detectors or something akin to that, where you have to pay your tithes, and it's like a turnstile to come in. Otherwise, you can't come in and you can't receive blessings. And I'm looking at this stuff and I'm just like, look, this is why people don't want to. Pardon my language. This is why people don't want to screw with y'all. You know, you just turn people off. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
You know?
yeah. Yeah, they're hypocrites, man. I mean, some of them, a lot of them, are hypocrites. And you know what? I had a friend of mine and whatnot. You know, he was up into the whole truth thing, and then I told him, I warned him. I was like, look, man, there's a lot of things here that I can tell you, but you got to mentally prepare yourself because this is serious. What I'm about to tell you, everything. And he was like, you know what? Just go ahead and tell me. Just go ahead and tell me. So, I let it rip. But you know what? You know what happened in the very end? Because he was still going to church, and at the same time, I was trying to tell him, what was real. And at the very end, he ended up basically, pretty much rejecting everything that I was telling him. And
Yeah.
why is that? Because he was manipulated by the church. He was trying to get me to go to church. I'm like, nope.
This is the way I see it. You know, when someone reacts violently, well, not violently, vehemently against you, when you're questioning certain things that they've been taught all their life, it's kind of like a house with a foundation. Your whole life has been based on things. And if you're faced with some information that's irrefutable, it goes against the things that you've been taught are true. And that's the core of your being. It's kind of like a house. Snatch the foundation off under a house, it's going to collapse.
Yeah.
It's a lot of mental trauma that people go through when they're faced. When they come face to face with stuff that runs contradictory to everything. My mama told me this. Now you got to be attacking my mama. So I just back off, and I'm just like, you know what, man? You keep me and you. I'm going to leave you alone. You just want to attack me. I mean... You got people. They're surface dwellers, man. They don't even know that every day of the week is named after a pagan god.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, people don't really pay attention to that type of stuff. We
Nope.
it's too much TV. They don't realize that majority of, like you said, the days of the weeks, a lot of these holidays is after these pagan deities and everything, and a lot of people get real upset about it. But the thing about it is that it's the spirit that they came from. It's still the same spirit over. It's just got a covering to it. It's still the same thing. And the thing about people not want to come to the truth is that they have to stop doing Christmas.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. They have to. They can't do their Friday evening to Saturday evening. They can't club and party and all that. It's just a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
My mom, like she told me she couldn't she couldn't refute the fact that they screwed up the Passover, the death of the Messiah, and everything about 3 days and everything. She said she can't refute that, and she tells me that what me and my wife is saying is the truth. She's just having a hard time pulling away from Christianity, and it's frustrating, but some people will get it, some people won't, and some people will get it but still won't follow it. So I mean,
they got too many chips in the pot.
Yeah.
They can't pull that hand.
The term is ego investment. That's the term I'm looking for. They identify with it. It's their whole sense of being. So if you give them information that undercuts that, it is like you're undercutting themselves. You have to go back and re-examine your entire life from the jump, and you got to realize, okay, now you got to go through every individual belief that you've had since and go back and re-examine that, and that's a lot of work. So they're like, no, I've been going this way for 30-some years or 40-some years. I might as well keep going, Christmas is good. Wait a minute, bro. I'm not saying that he was born on the 25th or he wasn't, but there's contradictory information.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, Jesus was 30, was it? He was 30 and 1/2 years. So if you count back, depending on which calendar you're looking at, stuff don't add up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Certain ones it do, but certain ones it don't. The Julian calendar, if he was born during the Julian calendar, it adds up if he was born on a Roman leap year. If you're using the Gregorian calendar that everyone's using, it don't match. And this is coming from an agnostic that's been an agnostic for a little bit. I'm not as well versed in the Bible verses and stuff like y'all. That's probably why I can come at this a little bit differently. When I started looking at stuff, I'm like, okay, this don't match up. Think about it. March was the first month. Then there was April. Okay. Then you had May. Then you had June. July and August didn't exist. You had sextilis and quintilis. Then you had September, which was septilis, which was the 7th month. Then you got freaking October, like Octagon Octopus, is 8th month. Then you got freaking November, which is the 9th month. December was the 10th. Then January and February, the last month. That's the calendar before Julius Caesar reformed it. Okay. Now they say that he was born during the Julian calendar, and it could match up. It could match up if it was a Roman leap year he was born on, but we don't know if it was a Roman leap year. So I don't know what to believe. So when I look at this stuff and I look at Christmas, I see people blowing all their money on Jordans and all this other crazy stuff. I'm just like, what? How is this Jesus?
But,
Exactly.
The thing about Christmas also is that they try to say it's the Messiah's the reason for the season, but they really focus on Santa Claus, and people don't really do their research on Santa Claus. It's basically
I touched on this a little bit, but explore that. Go further with that, brother.
Yeah, I don't remember. I did some videos on it, but it is not good. It basically was like a type of a disciplinarian type of guy that beat the kids and everything. But as the story goes on, he ended up having this little demon friend with him. I forgot what his name was. I guess it was Satan, but it's supposed to be some little demon friend with him. But he is the I think like a Norse god, I believe. And
I think his name used to be Odin.
yeah, that's it. He was a holly god. And as time went on, as America got a hold of him and everything, they changed him to this fat, jolly white guy with a long beard that live in the North Pole with reindeers that fly.
What that got to do with everything that Christianity talk about? Like, I look at some of this stuff and I'm just like, look, I'm not a Christian. Never claimed to be. Raised around Pentecostal. But some of this stuff, I'm just sitting back and I'm like, y'all believe this?
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, one thing you could probably actually sum it up all with, because if you think about it, every one of them holidays is based around money.
Yeah.
That's all about.
They all fake. Every last one of them is fake.
Yeah.
All of them.
The root of all evil.
You got people that say, oh yeah, Easter's when Christ was raised and all this other kind of stuff, and I'm just like, okay, well, why does it fall on a different day of the year? Yeah, every year. And you say he died on one day and he raised after 3 days, but that will it don't make sense unless you're counting the actual day.
That's what they're doing.
No one counts inclusively. So it makes no sense to me, man.
This is what they do. This is what they do, though. Say when they say they took the Messiah out the cross before it's gonna be the Shabbat, right? What they don't tell you in Christianity that Shabbat was the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is the high Sabbath. Yeah. All right, so they had to get them down with that. And then you had then you had the day of preparation for the Sabbath. So what they teach that our Messiah died on a Friday and raised on a Sunday. He died on Passover right before the Feast of Unleavened Bread. All right, so if he died on Passover, which I think probably was a Wednesday, right before Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is Sabbath, so they took him off before that. He was in the ground. Next day after that was the preparation for the real Shabbat for the weekend, and that's when Mary and all them was on day preparation. That's when the Mary and all them was collecting all the spices and all that to go to prep his body. But when they got there on that third day, he was gone. But see, they teach you like I guess like a 2.5 day type thing.
Less than that.
Yeah.
It's less than that. If you go from Good Friday death to Sunday morning resurrection, that's only like a day and a half.
True.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's just
The
plumb
stuff don't
retarded.
make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me. And then you got so many conflicting accounts of so many different things, like how Easter kind of sounds like Eshtar, which was the whore of Babylon,
Yeah.
you know. And then I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm just like, what is real and what is fake? I got to go back and start digging through all this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I've been slowly getting into this stuff. Slowly getting into this stuff.
When you
That's
find
right.
out things, you're gonna find out that all these different deities is really the same deity, just with the different names.
That's what my dad told me, and he like my mother used to call him a heathen. And my grandparents, they wanted him to be in the church so bad. But one day I sat down with him, he's like, Wodan, all these other cats, they all the same people.
Yeah.
They all the same people.
Yep.
And they're drawing, like my brother told me, the 10 Commandments they drew from like the Egyptian, there's like, it ain't 10 Commandments, it's like hundreds of them, you know? And it's not, thou shalt not kill, it's I have not killed, and all this other stuff. And I don't know whether this stuff is true or not, but just the fact that the information exists and it wasn't presented to me, it makes me doubt the people that were presenting other information to me. Like, how you not going to tell me about the months? How you going to not tell me about the days of the week? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Even if the stuff is so innocuous and it doesn't mean anything, okay, well, if it's so innocuous and it doesn't mean anything, why did you tell me?
Yeah.
People don't hide stuff, little stuff. You know, they hide stuff that they think is real bad.
Yeah.
I just don't trust preacher men, you know. And I'm talking about like official, ordained people that run organized religion. I'm not saying there ain't no honest ones out there, but on average in general, I don't trust them. I don't. As soon as they come at me and they look at me, I'm like, man, you got all these gold rings on, feather in your hat, caddy, and your congregation starving.
Yeah.
What is up with that?
Yeah.
What is up with that? And I would be labeled a heathen. But I guarantee you, I give more money to poor people than they do.
Wow.
Don't be
Yeah,
trusting these
man.
cats, man.
I don't trust anything in Christianity.
Nah, man. Nah.
There's an artist that I listen to. His name is called K Reno, and you can't take all his information at face value because some of the stuff that he deals with is questionable too. But he
I
says,
heard him.
you heard of him before?
Yeah, I'm in the same state here.
In Texas, right? Down in Houston. So you know what I'm talking about. He's like, the greatest way to avoid deception is to know you can be deceived. So as soon as I walk in and someone says something to me, I'm Googling it, pulling it up. I'm calling my elder brother Jamal because he's deeper into this stuff. And I'm just like, what do you think about this? And then I see if my thoughts match up. And then I do more research. And I'm like, okay, you're talking about the Holy Bible, but there's Bibles you ain't let me. The Bishop Bible, the Geneva Bible, the Matthew, the Tyndale, the Bowgate. I didn't even know these books existed. Why didn't I know this? Why?
It's hidden from you, man.
Why are you keeping stuff from me?
It's hidden
You
from
know?
you. Yeah.
I was in the military where, and I still mess with the federal
No,
government.
I've been there.
Okay,
Been there.
I still mess with the federal government. That's what my job is out here. I deal with site security out here at one of the installations. They got information that's so compartmentalized. They got stuff that one hand of the government don't know what the other hand is doing. It's all about plausible deniability. All about secrets. All about lies. Everything is about lies. You got lies of omission and you got out and out lies. Most lies are lies of omission. Walking around, I'm looking at this stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. My brother's telling me the J didn't come around to the 14th or 15th century or something, and people going around calling the Messiah Jesus? How can that be if the J didn't exist until the Middle Ages?
Exactly.
Hello.
That is.
And I ain't even well versed in the Bible. I'm not. I'm a neophyte compared to y'all. But I'm just looking at this stuff and I'm just like, what? You know?
Most things is common sense anyway, bro. Just common sense.
I don't believe none of this stuff that people be talking about, man. It's just like, I don't believe you. Sorry. I'm not saying that you're lying. I'm just saying that you have not instilled in me belief yet. And it's going to take a whole lot for me to believe you. There's so much lies going on. Like I'm looking at the news right now on mute. Lies. They re-airing the World Trade Center stuff.
And
Oh
that's
yeah,
crazy.
two passenger liners took down them World Trade Centers when steel girders burn at 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit and jet fuel don't burn that hot.
Yeah. And they still want to keep
Nice
showing
little
these people
Good
death.
one. Good one. Who believe that shit?
And then there's another building 7 that fell. Plane didn't hit.
Oh yeah. That
That's
one was
straight up.
sure for a certain amount of money. All the gold in one of the trade centers was missing. Yeah, the Pentagon get hit. The Pentagon get hit, and all the planes on the East Coast happen to be away on a training mission. But wait a minute, ain't the Pentagon the most secure airspace on the planet? What about surface-to-air missiles? I know they got surface-to-air missiles.
Yeah.
You don't find no wing, no black box, no nothing.
No, nothing. Like the plane just disappeared.
But see, that's what's wrong with people, because they don't got no common sense. They don't. It's just no common sense. They just believe whatever they believe.
They surface
on
dwellers.
TV.
They surface dwellers. You know about K. Reno. He got a song called Surface Dwellers. Go listen to that song when you get a chance. He one of the only hip hop artists that I really mess with nowadays, because it ain't all that vulgar cussing and disrespecting the women, which I'll get into later. How they hijack our freaking genre.
Yeah, and you know what's funny too?
That MK Ultra stuff is real. How you go to Public Enemy to fight the power, the NWA. Now it's cool for everybody to call themselves niggas.
I know, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And you know, it's funny too. A lot of rappers nowadays are you know, they're basically changing. Is what I can say. Like they're really, like, you know, they're having a whole different view on you know, on life. Like even some, I could probably name some right off the back of my head. Like you know, some of the ones that haven't been making music in forever. You know, like I mean, we obviously know Tupac was talking about some real stuff. That's why they was like, oh no, you gotta go. You talking too real here. Or
but he was mixed up in some stuff too, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. You know,
he got dirty hands too, but he started talking about stuff, and they're like, nah, man.
Yeah.
Our dog. It's funny how they call cars whips and jewelry chains.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's them dry bones in the valley, man. That's what that is right there, you know.
Say that again. The what?
The dry bones in the valley. You know what that is?
Y'all said something about that last time, but I couldn't speak and explain that.
Okay.
That's who we are right now.
Crazy.
Exactly, and that's in where is it? Ezekiel 37. Excuse me, Ezekiel 37.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes,
No, let me see if I can get it here.
Hey, brother BG, can you clean up your lens right there on your computer?
I don't know what's wrong. I think I got to go in and fix my camera. It's kind of hazy.
It ain't your lens?
I can still see you, brother, though.
Kind of hazy. I had to go in and fix it. I should have used the other one, but
No, it's good. It's good. I just thought maybe it was your lens. You could wipe it.
oh no, this
You said it was Ezekiel, huh?
No, you're
right.
good. We can still see you.
yeah. See
Yeah, let me look this up. You said Ezekiel.
Ezekiel
Yeah.
37.
Ezekiel 37.
That's
Pretty
really-
much is. Yeah.
Could you
All
bring
right.
me the Bible, please?
The hand. Oh wait, you want me to wait for you?
Oh.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel 37, verse 1. I'm reading this King James version. The hand of the Lord was upon me, and carried me out into the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of a valley which was full of bones. Okay, so right then and there, we already know this is not physically happening. Okay, because he carried him out into the spirit. So this is not something physical. All right, and caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord God, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, Prophesy, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you. And when he says breath here, obviously we know he's talking about literal breath. He's talking about, life,
Eternal life, baby.
spirit.
Or spirit, yeah.
Yeah. And I will lay
Right, eternal life.
sinews upon you, and bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. I mean,
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah,
yeah,
baby. Come on now.
it means you're gonna wake up. That's what that is right there. See, this entire book, that's where the manipulation happens right there for the people that, end up going to church. They read it to them, but they're not reading it to them in the correct manner. They're not
Yeah,
reading it as if, they're talking about children of Israel. They're not reading it like
You know
that.
what?
Go ahead.
they read to where they can get the most benefit out of the sermon that they teaching. They don't. That's the reason why they teach the sermon the way they teach it, so they can get paid.
That's what it's all about, money, bro.
So
Thank you.
they get their emotion. That's why they teach the way they teach. They don't teach the straight up truth.
They some pimps.
Yeah.
Oh
Really?
yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Since we're talking about manipulation, I know there's a lot of people to say all the the New Testament is manipulated. Don't read that. Don't read that. Well, guess what? The Old Testament was manipulated too.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, people don't know
Yeah,
that.
I've come across some of that right there, and like I said,
Yeah.
like I was saying, I can neither confirm nor deny the information that's been given to me. I can only say that there's conflicting information from different sources. But how about you give me all the sources and let me wade through the BS and see what I can figure out on my own, instead of you just, we're only going to give you this much, we're only going to give you that. I feel like a soldier when I'm standing in a formation. They give it out an op order, and my squad leader know this, my platoon sergeant know this, my company commander know that, but I'm down here at the team leader level, and I don't know what platoon 3 is doing over here.
That's right.
Why are you keeping all the information from me when everyone is responsible for their own individual salvation? I can't save you. You can't save me. So what gives you the right to keep certain information from me? It makes no sense. But I have run into that manipulation stuff. That even K Reno speaks on that right there. And like I said, this is you got to make your own decision on what you're gonna believe and what you're not gonna believe. Because he talks about Psalms 46. And I don't know if y'all heard about that. Has anybody heard about Psalms 46? What I'm talking about with the manipulation?
What about that?
Talking about Shakespeare.
You know what I'm talking about, brother.
Well, my wife reminded me of it.
I don't know about it.
We researched. It was a lot. It's like it was before we even started doing the YouTube channel. We ran across that.
Yeah.
What about it?
It was saying you got to count so many times.
46 letters in,
and you can see who wrote the Bible or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, and they say you come up to Shakespeare, you see a shake, and then you count, 46 letters, well, then you end up with spear.
Yeah.
You
go to Psalms 46, and you count 46 words down from where God appears, and you'll see shake. And then you go down to the bottom where the word refuge appears, and you count 46 words up, and you see spear. And then some people say, oh, well, Shakespeare was the one who translated King James Bible for King James, and he finished his work in his 46 years. And he wanted everyone to know. He was so impressed with himself. Oh, look at me. I translated this Latin, so now everybody can read it. And he wanted to go around. He wanted to put a foreword in the Bible, like I translated this, to pump himself up. Well, King James was like, no, I can't have the people thinking that the Bible's been manipulated, because while other people might wholeheartedly be looking for salvation, governments use religion to manipulate people. In fact, most governments and religions were intertwined in the first place. So King James, he's trying to separate from the Catholic Church at the time, And what better way to do that than translate the Bible into the King James Version? So then you go back and you look at that, and then Shakespeare, which is a pen name, it ain't his real name, he's like, nah, man, I want to put my foreword in here saying that, hey, man, I did this. And King James is like, nah, you can't do that. Well, guess what? Shakespeare's smarter than King James because most of them royalty cats, they interbred anyway, so they slow on the uptake because they, you know? So Shakespeare's like, you know what, partner? I'm going to write my name in code in here. So if someone knows what they're really looking for, they're going to find my name up in here. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not, but there's a saying. I don't know who came up with it, but we used to talk about it all the time because I was an MP in the Army and we used to investigate stuff. One time it happens, it's an anomaly. Second time it happens, it's a coincidence. Third time, it's a happening, meaning it is happening. Okay? So, finished it in his 46th year. 46 down, 46 up. That's all I got to say. I'm not saying I believe it or not, but it's something that I can't ignore. You know? I will, like K. Reno says, hey, man, still got to read the Bible, because if you don't read the Bible, it's impossible to read in between the lines if you don't know them yourself. Yeah. So you got to look them up. And yes, there's lies interwoven into it, but there's some truth in there. The best lies have truth in them. So you can't just write the Bible off, you know, and say, oh, well, there's lies in it, so I'm not going to mess with it.
What's up, Brother Joe?
Hello.
Shalom.
Oh, wow, Joseph's in here. Nice, nice. Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm live from the pulpit.
I get all my information from unconventional sources most of the time, but I'm just now getting into the conventional sources like y'all. So
yeah,
you think what you will about it, you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
It's good that you looking, man. It's good to research things because it's honestly a great feeling to come into some knowledge and to really know some things, know some truth instead of walking around and like a zombie, not knowing anything going on. It's just with the scales on your eyes and everything. It's real good. I think knowledge is good,
It's funny that you use that word zombie.
Yeah.
You know all these shows and movies with the word zombie in it, and everyone thinks that it's some kind of, creature that's going around, like actually eating on the physical flesh and the brains of people.
Yeah.
I think that people that know what's going on, that like manipulating us, they putting that in our face. They ain't talking about zombies like off of Night of the Living Dead, evil. They talking about people like when because some stuff's about to go down. Everybody that knows something, or you don't know what it is, but some stuff's about to go down. All the people that are prepared, either mentally, physically, or whatever, the government ain't gonna be the one that's messing with you. They are, but the people you have to worry about immediately are the people that ain't prepared mentally. They're gonna be coming kicking down your house. They're gonna feast on all the people that got brains.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what the zombies are. That's what the zombie is. I think they joking us. When I see what's that show, The Walking Dead. I look at that stuff and I'm just like, man, it pisses me off. I don't know what you mean when you talk about zombie.
You show cannibalism too, also in there. Humans eating humans.
Yeah.
That's why they say Satan is the prince of the power of the air. It's people don't understand that he's in the media, he's in the governments, he's in these so-called churches.
Oh yeah.
All the top places. He's in all the top places. The best way for Satan to influence the masses is to go to the top, go to the governments, go to the media to influence the masses, to go the way to change our way of thought, or to change the way we think. They basically program us how to think, how to act, and what to say.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's also being a zombie also.
Yeah. Yeah, you people run like their whole life. There's people that from cradle to grave, from the moment they pop out their mom to the moment when the pallbearer is laying down into the ground, their whole life has been on autopilot. They ain't never thought about nothing on their own. They've never dug into anything. They don't need, like when someone says, "Oh, well, these are the months of the year." Okay, well, what? These are the months of the year. Why are they named for that? Well, I don't know. Well, that's just the way they are. Well, these are the days of the week. Well, why are the days of the week named for that? I don't know. That's just the way they are. Have you ever thought that there's a reason behind why they're named like that? Or do you just keep coasting along, not thinking about this stuff? Or is it unimportant, you know? And getting back to the government. When you say they influence the way we think, like when someone finally presents you some information, I'm not saying you're going to believe it, but it's compelling enough to make you want to go and dig into it. Most people that aren't thinking that are zombies, they're like, nah, ain't no reason to go into that, you know? And then when it's finally put in front of their face, it's like they can't believe it because it's been put in movies, it's been put in all these fictitious settings. So when someone shows you something that's real world that looks like it, they think it's fake.
Yeah.
So they just write it off, or they'll label you a conspiracy theorist or a tinfoil hat wearing Yahoo or whatever, you know? I mean, when there's a little girl that came out and figured out that every single president except for Martin Van Buren is related.
Yeah.
And she found out that all of them cats, including Obama, is related to the King of England, who's related to all the other monarchies, related all the way back to the Romans, back to the Italians, all the way back. So the same motherfuckers been ruling us since the beginning of time, since back in Jesus' day.
You say Vlad the Impaler?
What's that?
Did you say Vlad the Impaler?
All them cats, man.
They said that George Bush is related to that cat right there.
And then everybody talks about, oh well, that's just a coincidence. No, it's not. They just had a ceremony for like when they got married. What's his name? William and Kate. When they got married, and they had all the royalty from across Europe sitting in there, and they're like, hey, guess what? All these people's cousins, and these people's cousins, and their cousins, and their cousins, and all this other kind of stuff. They're all related to each other. All of them. And people was ruling everybody. And they make countries go to war with each other and all this other shit, and then you ain't paying attention. And then you ain't paying attention to all the other crap they doing, you know. And then it starts to link back into that scripture that y'all talking about. Satan will deceive men.
Absolutely.
It's all around you, and I'm agnostic, you know. Or up until recently, now I don't know what I am. But it's kind of like it's hard for you to ignore a tornado in your living room, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And well, here I don't mean to cut you off here, but I just want to jump into another question here, man. Well, so we know about manipulation. All right? We know that manipulation is everywhere. You know, everywhere you look, we see manipulation, and obviously. Well, here's my question for y'all, is that we know that there's manipulation, and we know that we have to go and research deeply into it. My question to you is, why is it so important that we actually go and research this stuff and find out the truth? Like what to, you know, to actually coming into the truth.
Going and finding it for yourself? To go and find it yourself. That's what you're asking, as opposed to just posting along.
Yeah.
Is that your question?
Like,
why should we go and look it up ourselves?
Yeah, like what?
Well, that's a simple question. That's a simple question, and it's a simple answer. The act of telling the story changes the story. Even if a person is trying to be 100% truthful, there's bits and pieces and facts and nuances that are going to get left out every single time that you tell the story over and over again. It's great. If you want to get something, you got to go to the source, the most preserved source that you can find, which in and of itself is going to be flawed too, but you have to go and find it yourself. You know, there's biases, there's unknown biases, there's voluntary ones, there's involuntary ones. You know, you have to go and look it up yourself. Like before I went and looked up that 46 Psalm thing, I thought he was bull crap, you know. And then I looked it up and I'm like, okay, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying I believe it or not, but you gotta go look it up. You have to. You don't have a choice. Unless you want to stay home.
Well, that's our duty to check up behind when people tell us stuff. It even says in the Bible to study to show ourselves approved. I mean, that's just the best thing to do. I mean, so you won't be deceived. You study and see into these things so you won't be deceived. You know.
I went and got that app you told me about too.
Well, let me tell you the
Go ahead,
Let me
Jay.
tell you sorry. Let me tell you the biggest thing that's going on. Was these Christians are being taught in church. They are being taught to be zombies because they got this false security of salvation. They all they got to do is profess the name it, and claim it, and now they're saved. They're guaranteed a one-way ticket to heaven, and that's what keeps them dumb.
Yeah.
Ephesians 2 and 8.
Amen.
You said what?
And they don't even care to learn anymore because they've already got that one-way ticket.
And
Yeah,
plus,
what
they,
now?
So
plus they think they're going to get raptured
yeah, yeah.
and not have to suffer the persecution.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's yeah, that's
That's
the big
working real
problem
well
there.
for the Christians in Iraq right now. They're raptured every day over there.
That's very true. That's very
Hey
true.
Joe, what are you building back there?
This is my pool deck.
Oh, okay.
You can't see it because it's too dark. Let me hit my floodlight. This is my pool deck. Oh,
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
out here getting a little.
Oh, sorry.
Ephesians.
Yeah, Ephesians 2 and 8 is where that scripture is located. All right. Now it's really interesting because that's Paul's teaching right there, isn't it? So it
Where
makes
you
you
at?
wonder. Ephesians 2 and 8. That's where the saved by grace
Oh, yeah.
is located. Yeah, and that's where they get that saved by grace from. But you know what? When it comes to Matthew 7 and 13, that's not going to make a difference because as a matter of fact, when we talk about manipulation, the book of Ezra. Now that book, we already know that's a couple pages long, right? All right. If Ezra was a prophet, so how you just give him like 4 or 5 pages of talk? Well, here's my other thing right here because in the Apocrypha, this is not in the Bible. This is in the Apocrypha. Now, in your original Apocrypha, there's second Esdras. Esdras is Ezra in the Bible. Now, why they took that out the Bible, obviously, they want to hide that. But here's what a lot of people also don't understand, is that there is not only a manipulation from the regular Apocrypha of second Esdras, but there is another book that left 70 verses out of that original Apocrypha in second Esdras. Which chapter is it? Chapter 7, verse 33. And from there on, they took 70 verses out and they put it in a freaking book. Here, hold on, let me.
There's a lot of books. There's a lot of books that have been pulled out. You know.
Yeah, there is.
I was reading the Apocrypha of John with a friend of mine back when I was stationed in Newport News, Port Houston. And
Yeah.
It kind of freaked me out reading this stuff, and that's what really got me digging into this stuff. And then people give justifications why they pulled it out and all sort of kind of stuff. Well, why you got to pull it out? Why can't you just read it, explain to me why you shouldn't follow it, and keep it moving?
You know what the story is?
Suck it away from me and hide it from me.
This is the story. The story is that they said, I guess a whole bunch of the popes or whatever, them type of cardinal type people got together, and
Council of Nicaea.
the books that they were supposed to put in the Bible raised up and moved. That's what they said happened. I don't believe it, but that's the story behind why there are certain books in the Bible, and that's why that's not in the Bible.
I was told by my friend that there's a lot of apocrypha that were pulled out because it didn't make sense, and it made no sense to even present it to people because it was too unbelievable. And I'm just like a burning bush isn't unbelievable. I mean, come on, you don't have to keep that from me, man. If all of y'all came together, y'all interpreted, y'all read it, like, okay, this don't make no sense. Why can't you just have faith that the flock is going to believe the same thing? Why you got to hide it from me?
Yeah.
And then I started reading this stuff like the Apocrypha of John, and the first person to speak and call himself God, this is just my interpretation. It ain't the invisible. It ain't the ineffable. The creator, the first there was a thought, and then that thought willed itself into being. it was Sophia's offspring that was not ordained by the ineffable, by the creator of everything. This is long before there's corporeal beings. Everyone's spiritless, bodiless. There is masculine and feminine, but it's not in the biological sense.
Yeah.
So the first person to call himself God ain't God. At least the God that I've been raised to believe, and that's just my interpretation. Y'all go look it up for yourself. Apocrypha of John. It's Jalabor or Salabor, if I forget his name. That's the devil. And he says I'm a vengeful God. And thou shalt not worship another God before me. The ineffable didn't say that in the Apocrypha of John. Go read it. I'm serious. So I'm looking at this stuff. I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm just scratching my head, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not Christian, bro. All right? And I'm not here to tear anyone down. So if you don't want to hear it, you can just plug your ears. I don't care. You know, you can believe it or not believe it. But if you go and you look it up, the ineffable does not say that. The ineffable never even names himself as God. Because think about it, you're ineffable. What does ineffable mean? That means you can't have, there's no effigy. That means you can't represent it. Something is present and then you represent it. A name is just a symbol. It's a verbal symbol. It represents who you are. You're already present, so when I say my name is Tony, and then you leave, right? And you talk about me, you say my name, that represents me. Okay? This scripture says this being is ineffable, meaning there is no name. There's no name that we can utter to define this being. So I'm looking at this, and I'm just scratching my head. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But the ineffable never calls himself God.
Well, the thing is about that is that because like what you explained about in the Apocrypha and what I was telling you about how they move verses around into different books and whatnot, like they basically send you on this wild goose chase, you know, to actually try and find, you know, what's true and what's not true. Well, and when you think of it in that perspective, like you have to go out. And, I mean, you can look at the research, but you got to actually see for yourself what's going on. Because, obviously, if it was okay for us to worship other gods, we basically wouldn't be in this situation we're in right now.
Yeah.
You know, Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 wouldn't make any difference if that was true, that we could just go and worship other gods. But that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not true. We were brought here over by ships, and that's exactly what it says in Deuteronomy 28. That's why when people go and research,
I went and read that.
You got to read everything.
Actually, y'all talked about it last time.
Yeah, you got to actually go and look. When you research, you got to look at both sides. See, that's the thing about Christianity. The difference between Christianity and, you know, basically what we know. See. That's the big difference right there. Like, let me think of a difference here.
I don't want you to go off too far. You were digging into your block for that sidetrack you, but go ahead and get into that.
Okay, all right. Well, the thing is here, you know, we talk about manipulation. We ask, you know, why is it important to know this? Well, the reason why it is important to know this, and the reason why they took 70 verses out and put it into this book. Do you know how much this book costs? This book costs almost $400. You know they're hiding something in there, bro. This book is almost this book is almost $400. Luckily, I got it for $77. But this.
What is it?
That's a PS4.
What book is it?
It is called the Cambridge Annotated Study Apocrypha. This book is rare, man. Like, you can't just go on Amazon and order it brand new. You have to order it from a side bookstore, basically.
Read something out of it.
You said $400.
Yes. Alrighty, I'm gonna read something out of it.
Out of there so I can get some money.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, like this verse. Let me see here. We're almost second Esdras. Let me see. I'm gonna start it. Let's see where I'm gonna start at. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna start at verse 33, where the other book leaves off at, where they stop. The Most High shall be revealed on the seat of judgment, and compassion shall pass away. Compassion, obviously, we know that means mercy, forgiveness. That stuff is all going to pass away when he hits the judgment seat. And patience shall be withdrawn. He ain't going to be waiting. He ain't going to be sitting there, giving sympathy and all that. He's not going to do it. Only judgment shall remain. Truth shall stand, and faithfulness shall grow strong. Recompense shall follow, and the reward shall be manifested. Righteous deeds shall awake, and unrighteous deeds shall not sleep. The pit of torment shall appear, and opposite shall the place of rest. So basically, two worlds is going to open up. The pits of hell is going to open up. It's going to be it's going to be a door that opens up real slowly. You're going to see flames of fire, and that's going to be the pits of hell. And then you're going to look on the other side, and you're going to see heaven. You're going to see that door just over there. It's going to look all peaceful and everything. But that don't mean that you're going over there.
That ties in with Isaiah 66. That ties in with Isaiah 66, doesn't it?
Yeah. So let me go on here. Let me keep on. And faithfulness shall grow strong. Recompense shall follow, and the reward shall manifest. Righteous deeds shall awake, and unrighteous deeds shall not sleep. The pit of torment shall appear. And the furnace of hell shall be disclosed, slowly open, and opposite the paradise of delight. Then the Most High will say to the nations that have been raised from the dead, look now and understand whom you have denied, whom you have not served, whose commandments you have despised. Oh, look on the side, and on that here are delight and rest, and there are fire and torments. Thus he will speak to them on the day of judgment, a day that has no sun, or moon, or stars, or cloud, or thunder, or lightning, or wind, or water, or summer, or spring, or heat, or winter, or frost, or cold, or hail, or rain, or dew, or noon, or night, or dawn, or shining, or bright. It's just going to be completely void. Everything is just going to be completely void. But only the splendor of the glory of the Most High, by which all shall see what has been destined. It will last, though, for a week of years. This is my judgment and its prescribed order, and to you alone I have shown these things. Because only a few will be saved. Let me read that again. Only a few will be saved. Okay.
I get that.
Yeah. I answered and said, O sovereign Lord, and I said, then I say now, blessed are those who are alive and keep your commandments. But what of those whom I prayed? For who among the living is there that has not sinned, or who is there among mortals that has not transgressed your covenant? And now I see that the world to come will bring delight to few, but torments to many. Now, obviously, those many are the ones stuck in, the wide gate, the ones that are stuck in Christianity, the ones that are stuck in Islam, the ones that are stuck in religion. Now, it's funny because those religions say the opposite of what we say.
Hey man, I got something that's always made me very, very curious. Made me sit back and look at all the religions, regardless of how you feel about them.
Okay.
How do y'all define idolatry?
I would say you worship the Most High, His rules, His way, and if you do anything else, that is idolatry.
Worship of flesh.
It's basically the concept. It's the things that you don't feel, you don't taste, you don't touch, you don't smell, you don't see. It's the things that predate the physical world, right? Like the way that you're supposed to be thinking, the spirit that's within you, and all this other kind of stuff, right?
The things that you're taught by man.
Yeah, all the stuff that you can reach out and grasp now, that's from here. It's the worldly thing. I think Solomon says something about trying to find worth in a world without God or something like that. So when I look, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody. When I look at people that walk around with the cross around their neck, or I see the Islamic crescent moon and the star, and Star of David and all this other kind of stuff, these things are physical, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like they supplanted what we really supposed to be paying attention to. That's what I'm saying, you know. And then getting back to the artist I listened to, K. Reno. You talk about how the cross, which I don't even want to talk about how it's probably done. It's supposed to be. Anyway, that was a tool. That it was a torture device used to kill your Messiah. You walking around with it around your neck.
Exactly. Representing the Christian church, you know, representing that pagan deity.
And I'm gonna tell you something right now. The reason you bringing up pagan is very, very appropriate, because I was talking to this other guy who's a Pict. He's Scottish, Pict, and all this other kind of stuff. Like the Roman cross that they used to the Roman cross that they crucified people on was the uppercase T.
Yeah.
So how did we come to the one that everyone's walking around with? And he's like, you know what? A lot of pagans say that came from us. It represented the four elements.
Hey, if you look in your Bible under that word cross, the Greek, it would tell you that it is a stake. The Messiah was hung on a stake.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he was telling me.
That's exactly where just like he said, he hung on a tree.
Yeah.
They didn't sit there and build no T. They didn't do that.
Yeah.
That T is there. It means we're coming to conquer. We're coming to kill. That's a symbol that the Romans used.
Yeah, they said that is the cross of Tammuz. That's what I heard.
There's people walking around with this stuff on their chest, and we got all these different interpretations of it, but we can all agree that ain't something that you're supposed to be worshiping in the first place.
Right.
Exactly.
Regardless of what it represents, what you think it represents. I don't think that to me that's idolatry. Personally, you know.
It is.
Now I just wanted to know if anybody, and you can look at other things too. Like my friend was telling me he was telling me about the Jewish the 6-pointed star. This is supposed to represent the chalice, right?
Yes, the David Star.
Is the thing that everything flows from, like life, like it's the womb of the woman, and then this is the sword, and then when you overlay them, it kind of looks like the Jewish 6-pointed star, because the sword is supposed to represent male and aggression and all this other kind of stuff, and I'm just like, okay, what that got to do with God?
Absolutely nothing.
What does that got to do with
absolutely nothing.
The Most High? And I like that term beyond the fact that it's in the Bible and y'all refer to it. I prefer it more, the Most High, as opposed to calling it God. But anyway.
That's not even his name, though. I mean, his name is written in Hebrew, and it was pronounced in Hebrew. Everybody calls their, I guess, their deity God, or they call him by their proper name. Which, when you come over to, you know, who we believe in, don't nobody care about the real name. They just want to call him a title. They don't understand that when you say Lord, in Hebrew, Lord means Baal.
Yep.
And that's a Canaanite deity. In Hebrew, Lord means Baal.
Okay.
The Most High name is Yahuwah.
That's right.
It's 4 letters in the Tetragrammaton, the Yahweh. And when you study, it pronounces Yahuwah. Like that, you know. But the name of the creator is Yahuwah, and the name of the Messiah is Yahushua. You know. So that's the name. But people seem not to care. I guess if they call him by name, it'd be too personal with him. I don't know, but all I know is that his name is not God. His name is not Lord. Like I said in the Bible, he said, sooner or later we're gonna no longer call him Baal. But in these days, at this time, we are still calling him Baal because people are still calling him Lord. So every time you see Lord in that King James Bible, that's what a tetragrammaton it was supposed to be at.
Exactly. That's where it was.
And his name was in here almost 7,000 times, and they took it out.
That's what I'm talking about. Why do people do that so much?
Program.
Why can't they just be straight, just like you was with me right there?
Well, if you think about it,
It doesn't.
Go ahead.
It doesn't support the empire to do it the way that it was written originally. The way we've come to understand it, it doesn't. You can't build an empire. You couldn't. You know, everything that I've learned about the natural world and natural everything is already in the book when you get into it. Yeah. But they can't, you know, if you can't have massive grain storages, you can't send armies across the world to fight battles and oppress people. If you don't have slavery, you can't have cotton. If you can't oppress people, you can't, you know, just one little point, there was 1.1 million sheep in Kentucky in the 8 couldn't compete with cotton. Why were people picking cotton? Because they had people who were doing it for free, you know, and it just all rolls together. So that killed the wool industry, and which crushed the sheep industry, you know, and it was all tied into slavery. A lot of people don't know that, you know, that it was.
Oh, I never even thought about
it. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, people was wearing wool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hemp was the other one, real quick. Hemp was a big industry in Kentucky, but when the when the guy went to Congress and said that marijuana was leading to the detriment of Negro society, to use the word they used then, and that's how they got marijuana outlawed, and that crushed hemp in Kentucky. So that was another industry that got crushed because of, you know.
And that before too, sir.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's all about control, man.
Exactly. That's what it's all about, and you know, and that's another manipulation that came from the original text. I mean, that's clearly obvious to see, because if his name was written at least 7,000 times in the original text, so why wasn't it written? You know, they just basically changed the word on there because, you know, they know it's important, you know, that his name is there. So they're like, you know what? We need to take this name out because, you know, we're about to create these other religions and we can't be having them saying the real name.
If you think about it, that was started in the New Testament.
Yeah.
It was beating disciples and telling them not to preach no more in that name.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And there's actually been a couple disciples that came up and actually, you know, they blew the word out there, like, you know, like, bam, I just threw it out there, you know.
Got to.
Yeah. It's like, I just threw it out there. So, you know, let this word burn on your mind, basically, you know, like this is
what gets me. What gets me is these people in the New Testament was whipping up on the disciples, telling them, beating them, do not preach in this name. Then they turn around and create a Bible and give them a Jesus, and these people think they all of a sudden switch to the right name.
Yeah.
No,
that's not, obviously that's
it doesn't make no sense to me. It doesn't make. I mean, we're all pretty decent people, I'm assuming, you know. And our parents probably raised us, tell the truth. But what happens when you tell the truth in the real world?
You crazy?
Smack. You can't tell the truth. I found out real fast when I was in the Army. And dudes were saying stuff to me, our first class and lieutenants. Hey, what are you going to do such and such? Well, the AR says this. And I say it in front of everybody. I say with all due respect and all that kind of stuff. Next thing I know, I'm over on the side getting smoked.
Yeah. I don't miss them days getting smoked.
No. Worse, I'm not disrespecting the military or anything like that, but it was the worst decision for me to never ever got caught up in that stuff. Because you see it everywhere. It's in everything, you know. People are more comfortable with lies.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what part of society or whatever you come from. You could just be amongst your family members in your local community, and you could just sit back and watch people. You tell them the truth, and it feels so weird because there's been nothing but lies that the truth feels like a lie, and then they react viscerally to you.
Yeah.
Or even the attempt to try to find the truth on your own. Hey, man, you can keep lying to yourself, man. I'm not trying to stop you from lying to yourself. I'm just trying to figure out what the truth is for me. They'll get hostile with you.
Yeah, the truth offends. It offends. You know, when I told my family that me and my wife didn't consider ourselves as Christians anymore, I mean, they kind of, I thought they had Satan all up in them. For real, you don't understand. I saw some things from some people I didn't think they had in them. So, I mean, it's just that truth burns, and it's a hard pill to swallow. But, I mean, it was rough for me and my old lady. You know what I'm saying? When we first came into the truth, but I mean, it's necessary. Awake. It's necessary. So when you walking amongst these zombies out here, you know what's going on. While they are walking to the right, you going left to get away or whatever. You know, they going to get the new Jordans or the new iPhone or whatever.
Oh my God.
Black Friday.
Yeah, we're going to other people that got the knowledge and they going away. You know what I'm saying? They're going away. Just like the zombies, they all going to march to the concentration camps thinking it's going to be all good. People that got the brains is going to go the other way.
Yeah. Y'all heard that in the DSM, the manual, the psychiatry board for the United States, it came out and it's been officially declared a mental disorder to be a free thinker.
What?
Question authority. What? It is actually a clinical diagnosis. Be a person that questions authority or seeks to find the truth on their own, you know, to try to independently figure out stuff. And then when someone says something that doesn't sound right to you, you're not disrespectful, but you call them on their BS. That's a clinical disorder now.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm clinically disordered. I lost rank in the military. Not following, going against the
man. If you ask questions, not even disrespectful questions, even if it's in private, away from all the people, so you won't embarrass them, and you ask them a question, it's like you just killed their kitten. You stepped on you shot their kitten, threw it out in the middle of the road, you know, and they come after you hard, man.
Yeah.
You better not be telling other people this stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's how you know what type of spirit that person really got in them. When they get that nasty with you, that vicious little demon that was hiding out all up in them came out of them because that real truth came across the ears. They can't handle it. You know, they want you to get away from them. That's why they act so vicious. They want to get you away from them. So
this is how I feel about the truth. I don't care what source it comes from. I don't care who's telling it to me. If I can go and I can verify it and it's the truth, I will respect that person at least with that topic.
Exactly.
The truth to me, after being lied to for so long, for 27 years of my life, I'm 31 now. You know, after being lied to for so long and realizing and having to go through and dig through all these different lies, some intentional, some unintentional, the truth has become almost like air to me.
Yeah.
I need the truth. I need to know you're being straight up with me. You know, if I can't get that from you, I don't want to be around you. You know?
Yeah. I know what you mean, man.
Coming from the Bible or your apocrypha or from a man right here. If I feel like you're telling me the truth, I can mess with you, even if it hurts my feelings. I don't want you to lie to me because I've had enough of that. 27 years of lies is a lot of lies.
Yeah. I mean,
man.
We were born into the lies, really. I mean, our parents was born into it, our grandparents, and before we was born into it.
Man, going all the way back to our ancestors, back to Japheth and all the other cats in the Bible that I've heard about over the past couple of months. The lies have been going on for so long. Like I told you, the same family's been ruling this planet way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, that's that. I mean, we talk about truth here. You know, that's that comforter, I believe, that John 14 was talking about.
Yeah, go ahead and spit that.
All right. Let's see, John 14. All right. Where should I start at? I'm going to start it at...
I'm going to read along.
16. All right. I'm going to start at 16. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive. I mean, that means everybody's not going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people are still stuck, stuck under the lies of Christianity and can't come out. That's why they don't, that's why they don't care for the truth, because they don't have that spirit, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But ye know him, you know him, for he dwelleth in you and shall be in you. And I will leave you comfortless, I will come to you.
And he called that spirit a he?
He called that spirit a he.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Neither knoweth him.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I was just repeating. You go ahead, man. You go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking, what about when we go into 2 Thessalonians, and he calls that Antichrist spirit a he, and people really think that they're going to be looking for a one-man Antichrist. I don't see it. I know y'all disagree with me, but I see that Antichrist is called a he also.
Antichrist is not a he. It is not a he. It's an it.
Yeah, but he writes it down as a he in the scriptures, like he just did with the other spirit. You got two spirits, good and evil, and they're both considered he. Yeah,
right.
They're both. That's why I don't believe in no one-man Antichrist. I just can't get it. I can't get it.
No, there's nothing to really get, man. There's no Antichrist itself, like one person. See, that's what everybody is all caught up in right now. Everybody's too busy going around looking, they're saying, oh, Obama's the Antichrist, or well, or the Pope's the Antichrist, and it's like, no, it's a system.
You know what? When I hear that, I think of people that want easy solutions. I think of people that don't want to see that the problem is more complex and harder than that. Because if all of our problems were tied into one man and we could kill him, think about how easy the world would be. The world ain't pretty. It ain't like that. And oh, well, he's the Antichrist. Let's kill him. Okay, you think everything's gonna go away once he's dead? That makes a lot of sense to me. No, it ain't that simple. Okay, there's a lot of evil that's here, and it ain't in just one man. There's lots of people that are evil all over.
Absolutely. That's exactly right. It's not just one person. It's it's.
That sounds like a cop out to me.
Yeah.
If you think about it, how are you going to get people like us to worship an Antichrist?
Ain't gonna happen.
And at the same time, you're supposed to deceive everybody. Yeah, you ain't gonna even get other religions to worship an Antichrist. Nobody's gonna agree to that.
I would be hard pressed to think that all five of us will agree on something somebody that comes like that. So, and if we see things a lot eye to eye, it's just I don't see it.
No, there's no way. There's no way to see it because there's like he was saying, there's evil everywhere. There's evil everywhere. You can't really basically say that's one person.
So I got a question. Who is the man of sin that's supposed to be revealed then?
That man of sin is that Jesus Christ.
The Antichrist.
The man of sin is that Jesus Christ.
Okay.
The graven image.
The graven image. The man of sin. Now to me, that man of sin that be revealed is that image that we all have, that every one of us have that burned in our imaginations. Everybody on this planet has that image in their imagination.
Can you burn it out? Can you burn it out double?
Are you talking about the picture of Jesus that my mama used to have hanged up in the wall when I was growing up?
I'm about Cesar Bajoria, whatever his name is, the homosexual.
Yeah.
I heard he was Michelangelo David's son or something like that. I don't know.
He was the son of some pope, illegitimate son of a pope. I can't remember. He was a homosexual and he liked little boys and he wanted
like I was saying with the idolatry. People need to learn to look past the physical. The way the person looks.
Exactly.
all the things that you can experience empirically through your five senses. They're going to lead you astray. So
Exactly.
you got this picture that everybody's had burned into their head, and then this dude come along that looked like that picture, and you know that dude's gonna come before the real one. Everybody gonna hop headlong in with that, and you're just gonna be like,
I can see that. I can see that, but it ain't gonna fool everybody. It ain't gonna fool everybody.
oh man, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right or I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm here to learn. I'm not here to teach.
Oh yeah, no problem, man.
Doctrine is powerful. You know, you get all these people that have, you know, like I did growing up there with the gay Jesus, Double J says, and then when you show them the scripture, you know, feet like burned brass, and they're like, well, you got to, either the Bible's real or it ain't.
Yeah.
You can't pick it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean you can find that in more than one place in the Bible. I mean, I believe there is a place where it's written that he was talking about the worship of Baal. Yeah, it was talking about the worship of Baal, and as a matter of fact, I believe it was that same verse that I was talking about in the last video that I just made on the servant. On that video, I'm trying to think what it was Isaiah. I'm trying to think here. I believe it's Isaiah 42.
That's the chapter you did on your last video.
Yeah, that was the chapter that I did specifically on 42. I tried to do it the first time, but it didn't come out right and everything. So I just went back and I did it again. Let me see. Yeah, this is it right here. Let me see where I started at when we talking about graven images here. They shall be turned back. Let's see.
What
I'm
verse?
at verse 17. Verse 17. Sorry about that. Verse 17, chapter 42. Isaiah.
Okay, I got it.
All right. They shall be turned back. They shall be greatly ashamed that trust in graven images, that say to the molten images, ye are our gods. Need I say more? This is talking about his servant. This whole chapter right here is talking about his servant. He's saying, you know, that they're blind. You know, they can't obviously see it. They got ears to hear, but they ain't listening. They got eyes to see, but they aren't paying attention. You know, and this is the reason why they are snared in holes, and this is why they're basically going through captivity. This is why they're all in prison houses and whatnot, because they go in there into prisons and whatnot, and then they stay in there forever, and then they get out, and they go to a Christian church because they figure, you know, maybe I can go and get clean there. You know, maybe I can come out and
That's the
be whole
last place
again.
you want to go coming out of jail.
Exactly, and you know what? They have pastors in church.
You went from one institution to another.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Prison is a total institution, but the church, I'd say, is more of a total institution because at least prison controls your body, your flesh.
Right.
You go to church, they want everything.
Exactly.
They want your paycheck.
Yeah.
They want your free will. They want your ability to think. Wait a minute.
You're right.
Didn't the Most High give me a brain to think? How you gonna tell me I can't use it? You ain't the Most High.
Yeah.
All right.
You can't tell me what to think. I'm not gonna tell you what to think either, but
yeah.
Your lane.
Exactly. Jeremiah 23 talks about that too. You know?
Yeah, let me look it up.
Yeah. Go for it. Yeah, Jeremiah 23. He talks about the pastors. Yeah. It's you can start at the first verse right there. All right.
Jeremiah 23.
Yeah. Jeremiah 23, right at the top, first verse.
You want the one that's was it? Oh, okay. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Therefore thus saith the Lord of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have shattered my flock and driven them away have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you evil of your doings, saith the Lord. Oh, man.
Yeah, look at that. And verse 4, I will set up shepherds over them. Basically people that, that know the truth. More like somebody like us, to go and tell them that,
Dude,
tell them what's real.
dude, you ain't telling the truth. You're talking out the side of your neck. You need to stop. What you're doing is wrong. I mean, all sin. Well, I've been taught all sin is equal, but what you're doing is worse, in my opinion. It's one thing to be a sinner, but you have some kind of at least passive familiarity with the scriptures, and you know what you're doing is wrong, but you're still doing it. Taking people's money that's way broker than you, making them dumb about a minute. I mean, it's their fault too. They should be looking at this stuff themselves, but Bishop A. Long and Courtney B. Vance and all these other cats. Look, I don't have no knowledge, but there was just something instinctual in me when I saw them guys. I was just like, this dude in your front pew look kind of busted. You got on a Armani suit.
Yeah. And they're all about the money, man. That's all. Go ahead.
Something ain't right here, I don't know.
Social control. It's all about that social control.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's what it's all about. And really and truly, now and today, it's even worse than it used to be. Now you got mega churches that aren't even looking in a book now. Joel Osteen, he don't even look in a book. Yeah.
You talking about an inspirational speaker?
Yeah, you read my mind there, man. You read my mind there. He doesn't talk about nothing about trying to make people rich. And I already made a video on that too, about explaining how the poor are blessed. And the rich, he says, woe unto the rich.
You know what, man? I don't even like how modern society conceptualizes rich. I don't like it. I mean, think about it. People think they gotta have a nice car, big house, and all this other kind of stuff. But you're gonna spend your whole life working to pay for these things. You don't own them things. Them things own you.
Exactly. When you are making your own money, when your money is making you, then you're rich. That's when you're rich. But if you gotta make your own money, nah, you're not rich. You could easily lose it.
I'm going to tell you something straight up. This is what I've been feeling for the past year. I feel, and maybe y'all might agree with me, especially my brother from Kentucky. You might agree.
Go for it.
I feel that we were richer as people when we were more of an agrarian society. Think about it like this. What truly is freedom? This is what I think about. What truly is freedom? Freedom is I control my natural resources. Okay? I go get water when I want to get it. Can't nobody stop me from getting water. Okay?
Right.
I plant my food. I control my food supply. I built my house. It's mine. It's my land. Mm-hmm. That's rich. Okay? To me. I'm not talking about owning gold and jewelry and having Lear jets and all this other kind of stuff. Think about it. Most people, if you look at it this way, when you conceptualize being, I'm really talking about wealthy, freedom. Most people ain't free, even the people that have the most money. I mean, cause all that, like if the government don't like you, they come through, shut your water off.
Yeah.
Where's the richness in that? But back in the day, you had your land. It was your land. Yep. God gave it to you. You tilled it. You got your water when you needed to get your water. Ain't nobody gonna tell you, nah, man, you can't have this. You got to go by the zoning law and all this other kind of stuff. What kind of rich is that? Chasing after these things.
A lot of rich people commit suicide.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yahoo was not a real estate agent. I'm sorry, what?
There's a lot of rich people that committed suicide.
I think, honestly, the worst thing that happened was us stepping away from agriculture. I mean, shoot.
It is.
I'm just now going to get my hunting license out here in Maui. I got a local brother that's about to help me. I ain't never been hunting before. I ain't never been fishing before. If the freaking system collapses, I don't want to curse. I'm out. I'm out there. I'm out back. Yeah. And I know this, because for the longest time I felt like something was wrong. But how many people in society think like me?
You won't be alone. You won't be alone is the problem. There'll be a lot of other people have that same idea. You know, after back during the Great Depression, turkey and wild deer populations crashed because it all went to the table.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not very good.
I'm coming to your house, Joe.
You're welcome.
When people talk about freedom and being wealthy and all this other kind of stuff, I'm like, really? How free and how wealthy are you? Really?
Yeah, and even if you try to set up, you know, like I've done significant investments in my own little homestead here, and if you do stuff to get to make what is real wealth, people will think you're crazy.
Yes, they'll think you're nuts. I was looking at this. It was on Facebook. The guy was like, "Stop planting lawns, plant gardens." You know.
Mm.
Let's say you lose half your income, but you have a garden out back. At least you won't starve, bro.
I can tell you like this. Me and my wife, we do some gardening and stuff, and you know, but that last place we lived at, I mean, that whole summer, man, we didn't even have to buy no type of vegetables or fruit from the grocery store, and that was like, you know what I'm saying? That was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And it takes that much.
Wasn't that a gift from the Most High? He gave you the land to live off it.
Plant a little small seed, put that thing in the dirt, and it grows up, and it produces all these different fruits and vegetables. Then on top of that, it produces all these many seeds on the inside of it, so you can like produce crops. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, man.
But guess what happens if everybody start doing that?
What's that?
They lose control over people.
They'll make it outlawed.
Yeah.
That's why they want to regulate it. That's why they want me to pay a big fee to get organic to be able to sell organic produce where I'm at. You have to pay a yearly fee, but they will subsidize me to farm conventionally and fail. What? How much sense does that make? That's right.
They want you dependent. They're trying to do that out here in Hawaii. Hawaii, I'm gonna tell you straight up, okay? I don't know if y'all ever been out here, brother, but it costs some money to stay out here. Well, Hawaii is like one of the last states that has, like, the majority of their food comes from here. They grow their own stuff. And Monsanto is out here hitting them hard. You know?
Yeah.
They are hitting them hard. Like, this is what happens. You probably know this, brother. They'll have, like, a crop over here or whatever. And then Monsanto, the way their crop grows is invasive. So when the wind blows, it'll cross-contaminate and infect plants and stuff. Yeah. So then when the next generation grows up, Monsanto walk over, hey, y'all jacking our stuff. They take them to court, they sue them, and they make it so expensive so they can't put their own stuff over here.
Yeah, yep. That's like
Hawaii, but the Hawaiians are hip. They're hip to that over there. Most people ain't hip to that back home. Huh.
Yeah, that's why I can't keep my own sweet corn seed, because right down the road, a guy's growing 200 acres of feed corn, GMO feed corn, drenched in Glasgow phosphate stuff that makes your DNA fall apart, that I wouldn't feed to my animals, much less myself, or, you know, I don't want to eat it in my household. And so I got to buy seed every year and hope that it's real seed.
Yeah.
Mm. I saw that some of that feed got M&Ms in it.
You're right. They do. That's funny, but they do. But see what they're doing? Like the government, I see it as an agent. I'll go ahead and say Satan. I do see it as an agent of Satan. You know, not everybody in the government is evil. A lot of them are peons. They're collaborators. Shame on them for collaborating too. That's why I try to move as far away from as I can. I don't mess with anyone's day-to-day life. I am a Fed, but I don't mess with his day-to-day life. But yeah, man, they are actively separating people from the land, which was a gift to man from the Most High. That is what more evil is that? That's real evil. You know, you're taking away people's way to sustain themselves. This is not yours to take. You didn't give it to them.
Yeah. Check this out, man. I used to work at a grocery store. I was a produce assistant manager. And the people in our town used to grow like cantaloupes, and they'll bring them to the store and sell them. Yeah. Well, one day we got this deal that come in the paper some kind of way, and they could not sell us any more produce unless they had $1 million insurance policy.
Are you serious? Yes. That's another way that they're kicking people out of business. They're muscling everyone out. So on these big multinationals and like government-backed places, they want to control the food. Like I read somewhere. No, I didn't read somewhere. I looked at it on the internet. I got to go back and verify it. Coca-Cola owns most of the fresh water aquifers on the planet.
Wow.
Yep. I've read that.
It's Nestle.
I read that.
Nestle. It's Nestle now. Nestle.
Wow.
I've invented.
They're actively like when they say devil is trying to separate people from God. They're doing it in the spiritual, but they're doing it in the physical too.
Well, when you do stuff in the physical, it's a spiritual result. Also.
Yeah, it messes with you. You know, like they this. You can call me a tinfoil hat wearing cat, and I haven't verified this myself, but it makes sense to me. You know, I'm not saying I believe it or not, but I say it's plausible with the fluoride and all this other kind of stuff. They say it messes with your intellect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how smart you are right now, you're not as smart as you would have been at your age right now as you would have been had you not been drinking that mess.
Fluoride.
You know? So the physical does translate to the mental, which affects the spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at this stuff, you know, and I'm just like, y'all been doing this for a long time. Y'all been doing this for a long time.
Slow kill, brother. Slow kill.
Yeah. That's what they did in Germany. They started feeding giving the people fluoride so they can be more docile and stuff like that. That's also
I heard that too.
To make you more little docile and I guess zombified.
I heard it, but I haven't verified it myself. All I'll say is that it's plausible. I'm not the type of person that's just going to write someone off. See, that's another thing they like to do. They like to call people conspiracy theorists because over the years, conspiracy theorists has been given a negative connotation of being a loony, you know? And when someone hears conspiracy theorists, that's a buzzword to go, okay, let's shut them off. We're not going to listen to them anymore. Hey, man, the guy might be crazy. He might be. But just because he's crazy doesn't mean there ain't no truth in what he's saying. Don't just dismiss him. Go and find out yourself, like my man Hebrew was saying. Go look it up yourself. Don't just take their word for it. Don't take the person that's saying it. Don't take their word for it. Don't take the other person that's trying to tell you, hey man, don't even look into it. That brings up an idea coming back to those preachers in the scripture we was just reading. You remember that scene from Coming to America with that dude with the perm? He was like, why come the preacher got to have a Cadillac? Why come the preacher got to do this? And he's like, don't ask. No question. Don't ask. You know? That's what I think when someone wants to just be like, hey, don't bother with that conspiracy theorist. Don't go any further. Don't ask any questions. Just accept that. Say he's crazy and don't listen to him. You know?
I'm surrounded by them kind of people, man.
Mm-hmm. We got to come out there and bust you out.
But yeah, what they're doing to you over in Kentucky is a little bit further along in Kentucky. They're trying to do it over here in Hawaii, but the whole local population, they're fighting back against it. I mean,
I heard Hawaii don't even consider themselves Americans.
Nah, they don't.
Yeah, I went to school. A Hawaiian girl said they don't even consider themselves Americans. They don't even know nothing about American history. They got their own.
Not at all. They associate with the the cultural norms to a point, and I mean they pay attention to the United States. They have a vested interest in seeing the United States do good. Mm-hmm. They don't want anything bad for the United States, but at the same time, a lot of the stuff that a lot of people don't know about, they know about, like the slime that they ammonium, whatever the heck it is that they put in with the McDonald's burgers and stuff like that. Everybody knows about it over here. McDonald's is the restaurant over here.
You know what? We call it McNasties. Me and my old lady. It's nasty.
Man, I don't even look at McDonald's anymore, man. Oh my goodness.
We saw that movie Supersize Me, and that what got us. That's even before we even found out any truth. We stopped eating fast food. Well, we started eating McDonald's first. It's crap. And then when you find out that they use horse, a lot of these fast foods they use the horse meat too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true.
A lot of the truth like Hebrew was telling me on another video, a lot of the truth is starting to seep out. Like they're putting out truth on purpose, but a lot of it, like they can't contain it anymore. Because while I still say that we're in the minority, a lot of people are starting to see this stuff. They're just like, huh?
Exactly.
What's
And
that?
because, yeah, exactly. Because everything that, well, there's a saying, everything that happens in the spiritual manifests itself into the physical, and that's, as the word is written, you
Mm.
know, that's basically what's happening right now. Everybody is looking around and they're thinking to themselves, well, yeah, that actually is true. Damn.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I mean, when they talk about food shortages and plagues and famines, hey, y'all know that Fukushima stuff ain't over, right?
Oh
No,
yeah.
no, it's still out there. I
You,
know.
you
I don't go
know,
near that water.
I looked at the dispersal pattern because the site that I work at, they work in concert with University of Hawaii. They're talking about the dispersal patterns of all the radioactive material. All the starfish are dying, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is
They're talking about the Northern Pacific being dead. It's already dead. It's dead. You don't want to eat anything from it.
That's not
It's
good.
spread, and seafood plays a. I mean, even if you don't eat seafood yourself, it feeds a lot of people that wouldn't eat. Like they eat fish. If there wasn't fish, they'd probably be eating what you're eating.
Hold
Yeah.
on, let me jump in on that. Now those seafood animals are unclean and they have a job to do.
Yeah.
And if they're not around to do their job, that could contaminate the good food, the real food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a garbage island right in the middle of the Pacific. That's where the swirl is, right?
Yeah.
You know?
They got something like it's something like the Garbage Island, but it's like it's a whole bunch of plastic and stuff, but it been broken down so much that you can't. That's what you're talking about.
Yep.
You can really see it, but it's
It's
there.
artificial. They like the what was it? The National Oceanic, whatever it is. They have jokingly said it's the eighth continent.
Wow.
That's
That
how
ain't no
big.
joke.
That's how big it's getting.
Wow.
So like I was telling my man Hebrew, I'm like, look, man, I've been agnostic for a while. I've always called BS on a lot of this stuff. But some of this stuff, man, you just can't ignore. I mean, if you're a logical person, not even a spiritual person, just look at this stuff. You're just like, wow, really? And then you start looking around, and all this tumult is going on, and all these people are at everyone's throat. You got Ukraine, you got ISIS, you got Palestinians. Don't even get me started on Israel. You got all the stuff that's going on in the U.S. Y'all know what's going on in the U.S. And it's. I mean, you even got like protests in China now.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm not
Protests.
just talking about Tiananmen Square. It's getting widespread.
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah. And I even said that it was gonna be widespread. Like everybody was like, oh, it's happening over there in Brazil, or oh, it's happening over down there in Central America. Oh, it's happening over there in Europe. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen here. Oh, really? Well, look what happened in Ferguson. Look what happened at I mean, they try to do it here, but you know what? People here are so much more still dumbed down than everybody else that they just yeah, they're more mind controlled here. Like they don't. That's why you don't see as many riots going on here. But I mean,
But
when
it's
riots
slowly happening. It's slowly
slowly,
happening.
it's slowly
Slowly
starting to happen. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? The reason why is because like those other countries, hell, they've been in poverty.
Yeah.
They've been struggling. They've been
Yeah.
struggling all their life over there in those other countries. Like they never really had it good over there.
Nope.
So, when they start seeing stuff like that happening, like they start raising prices for everything, for their own good, not the people's good, then they start getting pissed off. Like, you know what? We've had it. We're done with this. We're tired of this. And that's basically what happened. Like, that's why there were so many protests in Brazil, because Brazil is, I mean, yeah. I mean, I've been to Brazil.
It's not what they represented
It's
with
not.
World Cup. They
Not.
always put their best foot forward when the media is around.
Exactly.
But Brazil is like they're a part of the BRICS nation, and they're supposed to be a part of the emerging third world and all that kind of stuff. But no one wants to talk about the fact that all the profits are going to the oligarchs. The people in Brazil, even as the net worth of the nation state of Brazil gets raised up, the people that are at the bottom, they're gonna stay at the bottom.
Yeah.
And they're gonna grow. Period. That's just the way it's gonna be. You know. You heard that Argentina just had just defaulted on their debt.
Yeah. Exactly.
Again.
Yeah, you're right. Like 7 or 8 times. That does not go anywhere. There is a finite amount of value in the world. It's not, you can't, oh, well, we'll just forget this. No, that debt is still around. It's never going to go away.
Argentina was also by a bunch of Nazis that fled Germany when they saw that it was all going down and they weren't going to have their way. So they're down there, the whole country run by Nazis down there. That's scary stuff.
Out in South America.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Well, I don't know. I just want to get into just one more thing before we get off. I just want to know y'all's take on the One West doctrine. Do you understand? Do you know what the One West doctrine is? First of all,
never heard of it.
Never heard of it. One West doctrine is a doctrine that was made up by those other Hebrew Israelites that'll be on the corners and talking and all that, the GMS, the GLCC, you know.
They be calling everybody Edomites, huh?
Yeah.
I know you're talking.
All them.
Cliff Dwellers.
Yeah. All of them, basically. Well, I'll tell you this. Yeah. They all think that, you know, the people of Israel are only on the west side of the world. But that's not true because Israel is scattered across the 4 corners of the earth, the north, south, east, and the west. So how in the hell can you get so how in the hell can you get one group, or you know, one large whole group of people that are the sands of the sea from one side of the earth?
You know what? Me and my wife and Double J did a video about that.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Hey, give me a bite.
Hey, man. Hey, I'll send you some in the mail.
We eating chitlins?
Don't make me come on up there now. You know I don't do that.
But, yeah, man, look, man. I don't know if y'all been to the Far East, but I have. I've been to Japan, bro. Okay?
Oh yeah, same here.
Look, okay, there are mixed people over there. Okay?
Oh yes.
All right? And then another thing, just because a person is light of pigment doesn't mean that they don't have the blood of Israelites.
Exactly. And you know what's funny?
Okay.
Some of their culture, some of their history, like some of their most ancient history that they have there, and even their language. And I mean, this was actually proven, you know, factual proof. You know, this wasn't in no book or nothing, but a lot of that culture actually stems back to those ancient times in Israel. Like a lot of a lot of their words and stuff. Like I mean, I've been to Japan myself too, and actually seen a lot of Japanese people with, like, you know, that are just straight natives of that land. They don't have any mixture, and they got afros. And I mean, I'm like, what the?
Yeah. I mean, it's especially like I spent most of my time in like around the Misawa Air Force Base, and then I was down in Okinawa mostly. But if you go there, man, there's everybody there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not as diverse as say the U.S. or Europe, but there's everybody there.
Yeah, there's everybody.
There's a large Brazilian population there. A lot of people don't know that. They're there.
Exactly.
You know, if you go over there, you're gonna find out really, really fast that mainland is pretty homogeneous, generally speaking. But when you get towards the south, like western section of Japan, and then you start going down to the island of Okinawa, man, they're there. You go to Thailand, it's the mix.
Exactly.
It's the hodgepodge over there, you know.
Yes.
And of course you got people from like the European nations that are there too, because a lot of them mixed, you know, back there, you know, you can't even tell anymore. It's so mixed up, it's mashed up, you know.
Exactly. You're exactly right. Yeah.
So when people say, when I hear that One West thing that you're talking about, I just laugh, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's impossible.
Yeah, it's BS is what it is.
It's impossible.
Look,
And
Like, have you seen Micronesians, bro? I mean, have you seen them? You
no.
know? Or what about Fijians?
Oh yeah.
What about the
Oh, yeah.
Aborigines
Yeah.
in New Zealand and stuff like that? You know?
Exactly.
And
Look.
then my granddad on my mom's side, he claims Irish and Native American, but there's a good chance that he's mixed too. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't tell by just the way that people look.
Exactly.
You
Go
gotta
ahead. Yeah, I think a repairer was trying to say something.
Go ahead.
hey,
Yeah.
the 12 tribe. Let me put this down real quick. The
Oh,
12
it's working,
tribe
man.
chart to me is a device of war and a device of division for the simple fact that what they gather all these, I get black people, Mexicans, Indians, whatever, to come against the quote unquote white man. All right.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's honestly, that's not the way you're supposed to be in the word, because it's all who believes will make it to the kingdom. All who believes will follow the Most High. It got nothing to do with. I don't even believe the white man is Esau. I don't even believe he came from Esau.
I don't think.
No.
On my own studies, he didn't. But anyway, that 12 chart. If you see how violent and disrespectful these guys is on the street, the language that they use, and they supposed to be men of the Most High. They are not men of the Most High, right? It's a tool of division. They're gonna cause something bad gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If
exactly.
they believe like we do, they're gonna mistake us for them. You know what I'm saying?
Not me.
That's their oldest trick, man. What's the best way? You know, you got to get in there. You got to infiltrate. You got to infiltrate. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly, man.
It's easier to kill from within than it is from without, man.
This is my question, though.
They're not gonna line up back like during the Revolutionary War. We're all on one side and they over there.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not gonna be like that.
I
We all up in here.
got a question about the tribe thing, though.
Go ahead.
Oh man, don't even get me into that.
Go ahead, man.
This is what I'm trying to say. All right, and Double J know what I'm talking about. Now you talking about. All right, here we go. My question is if let's see. How tell me this? How can Levi? How did Levi become the Haitians? And how did Reuben become the Seminole Indians when they came from the same mother?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Exactly.
This is my question. This is the question. This is the thing. You got two Hebrew women, and then you got two other handmaids that could possibly be Hebrew too. All right. So my thing is, who did Zebulon, the whole Zebulon, decide to mate with to become the Guatemalans or the Panamanians? Who did they decide to mate with? Or who did Manasseh decide to mate with to become the Cubans? And who did Ephraim mate with to become the Puerto Ricans? I mean, it don't make no sense that a whole group of people, we're going to sleep with these women and these men, and we're going to become this race of people. It doesn't make no sense when the tribes of Israel are supposed to be lost, and we're supposed to have no knowledge of who we are. You know what I'm saying? But it don't make no sense. How can you get two groups of Indians out of two different mothers? You got North American Indians out of Gad, you got Seminole Indians out of Reuben. All right, isn't the North American Indians all of them anyway? Seminole, whatever, Cherokee, ain't that all the North American Indians?
Yes.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right, and I know exactly what you're saying, man. Because what you're saying is correct. And it doesn't matter.
And my food getting cold now.
I think
I'll say something.
our genealogy is weak anyway.
Yeah.
If you ain't got the faith in the Messiah, hey, when it comes down to being a goat or a sheep, color has no bearer than that. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. And y'all see this map right here? This little map I got up right here?
You did a lot.
Yeah. Well, basically on this little map, I mean, look at this. You got friggin', you got America over here. I mean, look at this. Like, you got over here in India, Europe, over here back up into the Middle East. I mean, this is how you scatter them across the four corners of the earth right here. You scatter them into all nations.
Yeah.
And you scattered their race. I mean, you know, they interbreed.
They interbreed, yeah, because they went into captivity, so...
Yeah, and they mixed even before they went into captivity. They were mixing with Ham.
Yep.
Yeah.
They
Exactly.
try to talk bad about Ham, man. We've been breeding with Ham a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? The Most High Yahuwah doesn't have anything against them over there truly, because if you think about it, Enoch was an Ethiopian. He was a Cushite who was a son of Ham. So how can you just say that, you know, Hamites and Cushites are just like, you know, like you know, they're not, you know, they're nobody. You get what I'm saying here?
Those guys are pushing a doctrine that's straight from Satan.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what?
They bypass the teaching of that. What tree is that it speaks about in Romans chapter? The olive tree that's been stripped.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking about being grafted in and being grafted in again. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. We shouldn't getting caught up in race is nothing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Only thing that I see that us slave products are probably the ones who are a part of Judah, but the rest of the tribes are every race, and then you have everybody else who is included just by faith. You know,
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
there's no one greater than the other anyway.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. Because he said, the Most High said that he was going to send you into captivity to worship, you know, gods of wood, gods of stone. Now, obviously, if you look around the world, there's religions all over the world.
Buddha.
Yeah, Buddha, Hindu, you got Islam, and Christianity, you know, it's all the
And
same.
the U.S. the dollar.
Yeah. So, you know, if you look at it in that sense, you know, you got, you know, religions all over the world. You know, why did they put those religions there?
Control.
Because that's where the Israelites went.
Exactly. That's where they all went. That's exactly right. That's where they all went. They're scattered abroad into all the nations. So we're going to give them satanic or pagan religions in all those nations. You know?
You know, just think about this. Just think about this. He said that Abraham would be the father of many nations. That's powerful. That's powerful.
Yeah, that is powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly. I mean that's exactly right. You know, everything has to match up. If it doesn't match up, then it can't be right. It can't be right. Like you can't just get, you know, one. You can't just get 12 tribes of people from one side of the earth. You can't just get 12 tribes of people, you know, like from the four corners from one side of the earth. And, you know, that's that one West doctrine that everybody is just so stuck in. But, I mean, obviously, that's the things that we talk about here. You know, that's what the narrow path is all about. It is all about those few, not the many. Because even in that book that I read you, that expensive, you know, that $400 book.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Which luckily I got it for $77.
Great.
Because he said that. Yeah. So you know, he said in that book, you know, that the torments was gonna come for not just those many, but for almost all who have been created. That's what it says in here. That's why I took it out. Yeah, that's what it says.
She said everyone will suffer. The righteous and everyone.
Exactly. Yes, and that's exactly right. So it goes even further than just being a child of Israel. You could still be a child of Israel, and you could still end up going into that lake of fire. You know, you could still end up going in.
like we do a lot of videos on like the African Americans being Hebrews and everything. A lot of people get real mad and talk about it's about all who believe, but it is about that. But what I'm doing, I'm just trying to open up my people's eyes to know who they really are. Because I mean, honestly, all our lives, or my life, I feel like I ain't belong nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel the
Yeah.
same
I've
way,
been feeling
man.
that
I know what
lately.
you mean.
And all I'm doing is trying to open up the eyes of my brothers and sisters. They ain't got nothing to do with the salvation thing. They got nothing to do
Exactly.
with salvation. It's just got open the eyes of the people. Now,
Exactly. Exactly. That's the first step, man.
that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different topic because you're dealing with life or death spiritually. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah.
got I got a question for y'all. Y'all, and it goes back to the Deuteronomy, 28:68. That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
It said that they would be transported in cargo ships, right?
Uh-huh.
Correct.
Now, what's the specific wording on that?
That's cargo ship.
Yeah, like how, like what's the? Here, let me pull it.
I got the Hallelujah scripture right now. I ain't got my King James in front of me, so it's probably gonna say something a little different.
I got King James. King James, Deuteronomy 28:68. And Yahuwah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way there whereof I have spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Double J Part 2.
Yep.
That is powerful in itself.
Yeah.
It is powerful. That is powerful. 'Cause
Then it talks about, well, I forget where it is, where you have no land of your own and all this other kind of stuff. You'll be a byword and all this other kind of stuff.
Yes.
yeah.
That's what really pushed me into this stuff right here, because my partner right here, he could attest to this. All right, when you overseas and you were in the military, right, you feel like you're a foreigner.
That's
But that's
it.
natural. That's natural because, of course, you're a foreigner. You're not from that country.
Yeah.
But then you come back and you get that same feeling.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I don't really belong here. So then the next question comes, where do I belong?
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
and then the answer never comes.
Yeah.
And I was telling one of my other friends the other day, I was like, look, man, like he's a Filipino cat. I'm trying to tell him, like, hey, man, black dudes, a lot of them are angry. And I'm like, look, man, it took me a while to figure out why I was angry. Like, I wasn't angry at any one particular person, but it took me a while. All the way up until like maybe 3 months ago. And I finally figured it out. I don't belong anywhere in any of these modern day political, set-asides that are called countries.
Mm-hmm.
None of these are my country. They're not mine. The United States ain't my country either. I have no vested stake in seeing one country get ahead of another one. I don't belong. It's not mine. It will never be mine. None of these. And then furthermore, I have no culture. And it talks about that too. My culture has been ripped from me.
Yeah.
And then when a lot of people say, okay, why are black people so mad about slavery when the Jews and Irish and Scots got over it? I was like, look, man, I think we probably could get over it to a point, just like they could. But you got to understand the difference. When the Irish came out of slavery, they still had their last name. Even if they didn't know their language, they could go back and learn their language because they know where it's from.
Mm-hmm.
Jews, they still got their language.
They still got
their language. They still got their lineages.
Yep.
Whether or not they religious or pagan, whatever, they had that. They had their cultural identity. We don't have that.
It was a difference.
We're a rudderless ship. That's why a lot of us are angry. And what has been taken away from us can never be given back to us. It can't be. Not by anyone that's walking on this terrestrial plane. and that's what makes us so angry. You took something away from us that cannot be given back.
If I'm not mistaken, all these other races that went into slavery, these other races weren't kidnapped.
Nah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
We were kidnapped.
Yep.
We couldn't keep our name. couldn't speak our own language. We had to change our language.
We had to change our names too.
We had to change our names.
Not just our, like, for instance, you know that Jackie Chan and a lot of these other Asian actors, they changed their names legally. They have legal English names that they go by when they come over here, but they still keep their Asian name. Even so with Asian Americans too. Asian Americans that are born here, they have a name that goes into the official directory of the United States, but amongst their family, they have a Chinese or a Japanese, name.
Yep. That's very true. That's very true. And
they are still attached to their lineage. We are not.
Yep. Y'all are. I'm telling y'all, y'all are spot on with that. Y'all are spot on with that, and that's exactly right.
No sooner did I come into this, I bumped into you. When I found out why I've been so angry, I bumped into you. Like, I finally figured it out. I was like, okay, I'm not pissed at anyone in front of me, in particular, not right now. But I'm more angry at the fact that when someone says, "Man, y'all ain't got no culture. You ain't nobody. You can't be a nation if you ain't got a culture."
Exactly. Yeah, man.
Nation is a bloodline. It has nothing to do with political boundaries. Family.
That's deep, man.
And I was like, okay, so my family's been shattered, bro. And then I go, and then y'all bring out the Deuteronomy chapter, and I'm like, okay. And then it's like, the reason why you like this is because you're not coming back to who you were. And I'm like, well, I wanted to come back anyway. You don't got to talk about damnation to me. I need a culture, You don't even got to talk about hell to me, because what I got right now ain't cutting it. So why would I keep being the way I am?
Man, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, and I could probably tell you now. All of us can probably vouch for this exact same thing. What you're talking about right now is where it always starts, because like I said, I can vouch for myself the same exact way. I've always wondered, well, this person knows their history. They know their bloodline. Heck, they can go all the way back to the ancient times of who their ancestors was. But hell, I can't. I don't even know who the hell my great granddaddy was. Like, really?
I need a DNA test just to see if I match this person up. Or you see a lot of black folk that we like to call ourselves in the United States, African American or Afro American, whatever the heck. But that's another sign that people looking for their heritage too. But you notice that a lot of black folk want to claim other lineage, because they don't. And it's not that they want. Well, some of them are because they're embarrassed. But a lot of them is like, I need something to grasp onto. I don't know where I'm going because I don't know where I came from. So
how many years we've been over here?
Go ahead.
How many years we've been over here?
How many years about what now?
How many years have we been here on this land?
Oh, you're talking about
nearly 400.
Us as a people?
Yeah, nearly 400 years.
Yeah, going back to 1607.
Okay, hold up, stay with me. Now you got people out here that want you to forget about slavery.
Yeah.
They want you to forget. So now we're going to knock off at least 200 years. So now we only have a history of 200 years that we should remember. And then you got the 60s. Now you got the 60s where you had to sit in the back of the bus, couldn't drink at this fountain, couldn't look at a white woman, stuff like that. So now we can only remember the last 50 years of our life,
And even the last 50 years, is selective. You ever notice that? Like, I figured it out on my own. They don't never talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921.
Hey, that's where I was.
Like, think about it. What is the favorite line they use to thump us over the head? Like, I'm not trying to get into the race talk because I'm not gonna lie, I get emotional sometimes on YouTube and I get in the back and forth. But in my heart, I know I don't hate white people. I don't. Okay?
Yeah, you shouldn't hate no one.
All right. I don't hate anyone in my heart. I know that. But really what really grinds my gears is when, hey man, y'all can't build nothing. Y'all never built nothing. Da 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 da. And I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm like, then I laugh. I just laugh to myself, and I'm just like, oh, you probably just want to talk about ancient Egypt. Well, that ain't y'all. Hey man, I'm not even gonna get in that. We don't even gotta go back that far, dude. We had black enclaves like Little Africa, Black Wall Street, bro. You had Raleigh, North Carolina. There was places where we had to thrive or we would have died.
You built
We,
this.
we were by ourselves. No one would do business with us, so we had no choice but to succeed in our own little small little corners of what was left for us. You know, Oklahoma was a state set aside for natives and black folk, but then they found oil out there.
Yep.
And we was good. And then when you bring that up, and they're like, nah, y'all want that, and da-da-da-da-da, it's Afrocentric. I'm like, look, man, I don't hate white folk. I really don't, okay? Don't take this as me attacking you, bro. You know? This is me telling you that just like I've been lied to as a black man, you've been lied to as a white man.
Yep.
You think that we can't do anything, and it makes it easier for you to hate us.
Hey.
Because of hate, you might be in that tribe. You might share some blood, relative to us, you know, or maybe not. Maybe you just might be one of those persons that get saved with us. But you won't come to that because people have lied to you about history. You can't get around the fact that you've been lied that we can't do anything when I know we can. You know?
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Doug.
And saying that we are drug dealers. Look, man, you need to stop having kids out of wedlock. Look, before LBJ's Great Society program, we had like a 90% marital rate.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Double J. What you were gonna say, man?
Back when I was in 9th grade, I'm 52 years old right now, but back when I was in 9th grade, I had a high school coach tell me that blacks will never be quarterbacks in NFL.
Look,
He said we don't have the mentality.
that's what they told my dad, and stuff. Cause he played quarterback in high school and stuff, and he ended up playing for Marshall College and everything in West Virginia. But they ended up moving him from his quarterback position to the cornerback position.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. How you gonna move a quarterback, an offensive dude, quarterback head of the team to be a cornerback on defense?
Because man, they suffer by it. They suffer from this thing called confirmation bias. Okay, confirmation bias and cognitive dissonance. Okay, confirmation bias is you believe something about a particular group of people or individual, so you're only going to look for information that supports that. You're not going to go out looking for information and just seeing what you can find. You're only going to find stuff that you want to find. So if you think all black dudes is criminals, you're going to go into YouTube and you're going to type in black criminals. You're not going to go into YouTube and type black guy, you know, or something like that. And even if you do, there's so much confirmation bias that's built up that now only people load that kind of stuff. You gotta actively search for positive stuff about us now. But it's out there. It's out there. Black Wall Street, man, you had something like 600 businesses, a private airport with 6 planes in 1921, bro. Okay? There was a doctor, he was the head of the Physicians Association for that state that was making $500 a day in 1921. These dudes weren't stupid. Lawyers, engineers, they own the whole place. The Gap Band, they made that song, You Dropped the Bomb on Me. Go back and look at that 70s video. That's what they're singing about. Gap stands for Greenwood.
Archer and Pine.
Yes.
That's my hometown, baby.
See, you know what I'm talking about. But why?
T-town.
Think about it. If they won't talk about our ancient, like they won't even talk about our recent roots. That hasn't even been 100 years from now. You know, what makes you think they're gonna talk about that other stuff? And then here's the thing: just like black people are victims of thinking they can't do nothing, these white folks have been lied to too. They victims of the same propaganda because now they have a vested interest in saying, "Oh no, we're not going to give you a chance because we know you." Right? They've been poisoned in the mind as well. So no, I'm not going to hate white folks because you're pawns too. You've been lied to.
Yeah.
Just like we've been lied to, and everybody has been put in their own little place. You know.
Yeah, that's the only way you can. That's the only way you can the deception can go on if you lie to everybody, even to your own people. You know what I'm saying?
What's that old saying? You know, you just hit it. Before you deceive your enemy, you got to deceive your friend.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know, like you got cats that walk up to me and say, "Hey man, you like not me. My brother out when he was stationed in Alaska, they walk up to him, hey man, you got some booger sugar? I know you got the stuff, bro. I know you got it. You know." Or you got cats that walk up to me. You got cats that walk up to me, man. You probably ain't nothing. You ain't never met your daddy before in your life. Never mind, I'm Anthony Gardner Jr. And my dad and my mom are still married. My dad had 6 kids by the same woman, but you got confirmation bias. So anything I say to you, you're gonna think is a lie. I am a lie, and then that's when that second portion kicks in, beyond the confirmation bias. When they see something that contradicts that, they get cognitive dissonance. This don't match up to what I've been taught.
Nope.
So then they get all bewildered.
No, man, nothing does. History itself doesn't match up to what's really true. You know, history itself doesn't match up. So,
yeah.
You know, they can teach you that in school, but you know, half the stuff they teach you in school is basically, that's the stuff they feed you. That's the lies they're feeding you.
It's doctrine. You've been
That's the
doctrinated.
conditioning.
It's not history. It's his story. And to circle back around to the Christianity stuff, like, bro, you say you're Christian, but you end up all this idolatry, bro, and all this material stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting cognitive dissonance messing with you, man. Are you or aren't you? You know? And I think, like coming from an agnostic brother or a recent convert, whatever it is I'm going to end up being, I'm just going to tell you from an agnostic standpoint, that's the reason why a lot of cats that ain't necessarily atheists, when they come around a lot of cats, they just they repel them. They come up to them thinking they're going to get some information, and they say all this crap, and they come out their mouth, and then you go running away. You know? You say you're Christian, but you walk around with this thing that they use to kill your Messiah on your neck, bro. Would you walk around with a replica of the rifle they used to kill Martin Luther King with around your neck?
They might as well wear record chairs around their neck.
Yeah. I just get cognitive dissonance when I talk to a lot of Christians, or Muslims too, or Jews, like they want to call themselves. Your words aren't matching up with your actions. Actions speak louder than words. You say you're here to help the meager and the poor. Man, when's the last time? I'm not talking about in some kind of church drive. I seen preachers walk past people in $1,000 suits that are asking for some money. Hey man, can I get something? Nah, man, keep walking. You just gonna buy alcohol anyway. You know what, man? That ain't bro. And I look at it like this. Two of my best friends back in Newport News, they surprised me, and they were Christian. Come out of 7-Eleven, dude, he was probably a crackhead. He looked messed up. He's out here handing out stuff to ministries and stuff like that. He's like, hey man, can you donate? I give him $5. He's like, why you get that crackhead that money, man? He just gonna go buy crack. And I'm like, you know what? Even if he does go buy crack, that's $5 he don't have to break into somebody's house.
True that. Very true.
It ain't for you to judge that stuff right there, man. And people judge you when you help people too.
Oh yeah, that's pretty terrible. That's pretty bad. I mean, we're not. I mean, yeah. I mean, in the book it does say, about judging and whatnot.
Yeah. Bring it back to the scripture. I don't want to keep talking. Go ahead, man.
Oh no, it's okay. As a matter of fact, where was that? Because it was in that same chapter, one of the same chapters that we just read about judging. It was about the servant. What am I saying? It was about the servant. As a matter, the video that I did about the servant. And what's that? Isaiah? No. Oh, good. Now I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm going all over the place. Yeah. Isaiah 42 about the servant. At the very beginning of, like, the very first verse, he talks about that the servant will bring judgment. It said judgment to the Gentiles, or judge the Gentiles. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, they're saying, no, you can't judge. You can't judge. And I know that that's a very debatable topic, especially amongst, what we bring forth, and say what a Christian would bring forth. I mean, that's a huge debate. I mean, there's still a debate now, and it always will be a debate, because the book says otherwise, but I mean, obviously we know they're being taught otherwise.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
Yeah, that they're being taught otherwise. So, You know, that can't. I mean, that
Yeah.
doesn't give them a right to just come in and say that, you know, nobody is allowed to judge.
That word judge is kind of like the word love. You know, he tells us you will know a tree by the fruit it bears. So that takes judging.
It does. It does take judgment. It does
So
take judgment.
you know, we do have to judge, but at the same time, we are not the judge.
I just don't like it when
Exactly.
people try to shame me when I'm trying to help somebody. Hey man, he's just gonna buy alcohol. So what? It's my money.
No, that's just straight ignorance.
Leave me alone. You know, I'm trying to
Yeah.
help this man. You
Yeah.
you don't you don't know what he's gonna do with this money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
This world, this is Satan's world. So people just care about themselves at these days and times and everything. You know.
yeah,
I mean, people kill their own parents and
yeah,
brothers and sisters or whatever. I mean, people don't care. People just don't care. They don't care.
Yep. That's the
That's it.
number one thing. They do not care. That's the number one thing.
The hearts are
yeah.
waxing cold. The hearts are waxing cold. And this is
Yeah.
exactly what the Bible was speaking on about people hearts waxing cold, not having compassion for these people that's in need. Because, like I said, these people might be an angel that we supposed to be entertaining, and we
I heard
might,
that too.
you know what I'm saying? So I mean, if we believe in the Most High. We say we believe in. I mean, we're supposed to do these things.
Yeah,
Regardless, you
you're
know.
supposed to do it, and you're supposed to do it, and it's not because you're looking for some kind of reward or you're looking for a pat on the back. You're supposed to do it because it's right. You know. And that angel thing, I've heard it. It was like I want to say it was a skit of the beginning of the K Reno song that made me think. I forget which song it was. You entertain the angels. You don't know what that guy is. And here's the thing, just because you know that shouldn't be the reason. They don't. You shouldn't be scared into helping people. You know,
No.
you should do it because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And on the opposite end, like I just got finished saying, people shouldn't be trying to shame you out of helping folks. What the hell is wrong? Sorry. What is wrong with y'all? You know? What is wrong with you? So what? Like
That's that
I
evil
came
heart,
out,
man.
I came out of Five Guys, right? It was back when I was in Virginia. Now
Yeah.
my sister just paid me back for paying the car insurance, so all I had was a 50 in my wallet. Dude walk up in that for a hot dog. Like, look, I'm about to go back to my folks' house, but this all I got. Here, take it. And he looked at me astonished. Like, I can't believe you did that. That should not be the reaction that these people have when someone helps them.
Mm-hmm.
He was so surprised that someone helped. That, you know what that showed me? Ain't nobody helped this man.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody helped him. You know.
That's a good heart, man. There's
It's
an
so
evil heart. I mean, that's a good heart, and there's an evil heart. And I mean, that's a good heart when you help out people. That's what
and
that is.
what's crazy is my extended family. They talk about my dad like he's crazy. They called him a heathen, but the one that gave me my sense of morality was him. He's the one that told me about Wodan and all the days of the week and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So he a heathen, right? Got it.
Wow.
Got it. That told me all I need to know. I was like, you can read the Bible, you know, read the Bible is cool, you know, read several Bibles, you know, learn more stuff like you're saying, Brother Hebrew, you know, it's cool.
Right.
But I don't like being in those institutions, man. I don't like being inside them. I step in and I just get a shiver down my spine, you know?
Oh yeah, man. I understand. I understand completely. And well, you know what? Y'all, it's been hold on.
And it's been a
We've been,
while.
yeah, we've been in this for quite a while now. I think it was pretty much almost 3 hours. So
How many
yeah,
viewers
but
did you get?
I mean, I don't know how many views we actually got on the outside, but I mean, once this video is up, you know, and it goes into sharing. I mean, the video, you know, just me and UJ, you know, we actually did pretty good on that one and everything. But you know, we're still looking to you know, try to reach out a little further. You know what I mean? Try to bring out or trying to bring in, excuse me, bring in more, you know, of people that you know, that think alike, you know, more think alikes, you know, and I mean, really and truly, what we're doing right here, right now, I mean, I like this. This is good. This is really good. I mean, this is a lot bigger than I thought it would be.
This is great.
Starting off and everything. Cause I mean, honestly, I didn't even have any attention on this. I mean, I mean, Jay came to me out of nowhere, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm not. You know what? Let's do some fellowship." I'm like, "What?"
What it was I got a taste of repairs of the breach. I got a taste of that, and I want some more.
What are you talking about? What you talking about?
You guys came by my house, man, and we fellowship, and I'm tired of typing. I want to talk like this. And,
Typing.
like this.
Yeah,
like-
man, this is good. Yeah.
The new brother here, this brother here, how do you say your name on your YouTube name?
Oh, mine?
Yes,
It's Nihilist.
one nihilist.
Nihilist. It's basically like I said, when I turned 27, I didn't know the truth, but I realized a lot of the world was lies, and that name it feeds into it. Nihilist is a person. I mean, it depends on what definition you look up. It's a person that sees the world and it doubts human morality, like the capacity for humans to be moral, and then it goes deeper into that, and you just look at the world and you're like, what's the point of all this? It makes no sense, It's kind of like a person that's lost faith in humanity, in the world that is.
Yeah.
And that's basically what my name was. And at that time, I just got finished hearing about King Solomon and how he said it was like trifling or something to try to seek purpose in a fallen world without God.
Do you make any YouTube videos?
No, sir. I'm not the type of person that likes spotlight. I'm not afraid to show my face, but I don't need a following. I don't want to be followed.
Well,
At all. I don't want to be followed. I don't want to be turned into some false idol. I've seen happen to other people. People that had no intention of it happening to them.
You don't think you have information that's valuable that you can share with some brothers and sisters out here? Because we have a lot of them.
I do it in conversing fashion, but I'm not. No.
You seem to be pretty intelligent, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I ain't know before.
This is what I tell people, okay? And it's not self-depreciating. When you find yourself around a whole bunch of people throughout your life that have come off as like not the sharpest tool in the shed, and then you bump into someone that's ever so slightly smarter than them, they come off as genius.
Yeah.
So I really don't see myself as a genius. I don't even like the term, to tell you the truth.
You got a lot of common sense.
Yeah, it kind of puts you above people, and I'm not above people. Don't want to be above people. Don't even want that term. I mean, I accept it as a compliment. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I completely understand. Like, I can actually vouch where you're coming from. I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, there are some things, a lot of things I do know, but I don't consider myself a genius either. I'm not trying to put myself in that category and everything. I'm not trying to boast.
You know what, though? There's a lot of us out here that's, say we bringing out the truth, but the truth is, none of us really know anything. We're not even on the tip of the iceberg.
Nope.
I'm for real. It don't matter how intelligent a person sounds. I don't care if I know memorize every verse in the Bible. I still don't know. There's stuff going on we do not know about at all.
Yeah, and there's like I do believe that there's certain things that we're not meant to know either. But getting to what I was about to say, and he might have been quoting someone else because someone has speculated that he stole a lot of his thoughts from older philosophers. But Socrates says the only thing I know is that I don't know. That is it. He said that, and he used to walk around and posit to people and ask them, what is justice? And people kept saying, well, justice is right and wrongs and saving babies. He's like, no, those are examples of justice. What is justice in and of itself? And then he would do it with piety, all these other kind of things, like what is love? Like, you ever notice how hard it is for someone to define what love is in concrete terms? So after a while, people start getting angry with him. And he's like, why do you keep messing with us? Because all y'all think you're wise, and I keep coming and talking to these wise people. Y'all don't seem to understand that the only thing that y'all know is that you don't know. Well, actually, y'all don't even know that. So therefore, I'm a little bit wiser than y'all because I know I'm ignorant. Y'all don't know you're ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And that's why they made him drink poison. That's why they killed him. They made him kill himself.
That's true. We are done.
So
Yeah.
So when people say I'm a genius, I'm like, there's being knowledgeable, and then there's being like a genius. You can have a lot of knowledge, you don't know how to put all the pieces together, you know. So
Yeah, you can have a lot of academic sense, but you can lack common sense like no other. Because I know a lot of people like that too.
Yeah, like all the academic and debating skills and all that other kind of stuff, I would trade it for the brother that stepped off. I guarantee you he knows more agriculture and hunting than me. I trade a lot of what I know right now for that right there, to be
Absolutely.
honest.
Yes.
Because like you said, Hebrew, some stuff's about to go down with a normal, like, have you noticed back in the day, like in the 90s and the 80s and stuff like that, you go to a grocery store and every single shelf is full. But now you walk around every once in a while, you'll see blank spots, nothing in there.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
They say that the United States, if something were to happen to the shipping lanes, we only got like 2 or 3 weeks worth of food stuff stocked up in grocery stores. And that right there will go out really fast as soon as something happens.
It's 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
if you guys haven't subscribed to that brother that left us, you got to try to get a hold of him, subscribe to him. He makes videos every now and then to help you out in like gardening and stuff like that. He's got some beautiful information that he puts on video.
Yeah, he does.
I might, when I start hunting, I might start posting some hunting videos.
Nice.
You start talking about stuff we talk about, boy, you get attacked.
I don't mind getting attacked, but I want to be attacked face to face. If someone wants to say something about me, we can converse.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit up there and be a target. You gonna talk to me face to face. That's the kind of person I am. So I'd rather converse with somebody.
When you doing these videos, you can't really talk in the face. You know, you got these keyboard warriors out here who want to talk. Well, I mean,
this dude, I had a dude say he's gonna shoot me one time. I was like, man, whatever, man. You ain't gonna do nothing to me, partner. You know who I am. I got your IP address. Come get me, bro. I'm waiting.
it comes with the territory, though. But I mean, if you talk about what we talk about, you're gonna meet a lot of opposition. Double J, no.
Yep.
I don't run into the opposition on the net, but you better believe I keep my mouth shut when I'm talking to people out and about. So I know, I talk to people when they can reach out and touch me. I've already happened to it happened to me a couple times.
We try to talk to people. They don't even want to hear us. They change the topic.
Yeah. It goes back to that term that I told you, ego investment.
Yeah.
Their sense of self is invested in these ideas. They serve as a foundation for their being. Most of your core beliefs are absorbed into you when you're young and can't think critically. The frontal lobe of your brain that breaks down stuff and deals with logic doesn't fully develop until you're 30. So all that stuff was put into you when you were a little kid, and it's the foundation of you, and you're a house. So when you approach those people, it's like you're trying to pull the foundation off from under them. They're going to react violently, And then number 2, it's attached to their mama, probably.
Yeah.
So while you attacking their beliefs, you attacking their mama.
Don't talk about my Jesus.
You know what I'm talking about, Brother Jay? You know what I'm talking about. That's what it is. So you need to understand when you approach people, man. I mean, y'all know on an instinctual level, but I figured this out, It's psychological. You cannot talk about my mama's Jesus and not get touched.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's one thing for you to be wrong, but my mama ain't wrong. My mama's not going to hell. See? So yeah, and I like I said, like the when I told y'all, I noticed that religious institutions are answer-giving places and not question-giving places. That's not my original idea. I took that from my intro to philosophy teacher. He was about Catholic. He stepped away from the church, and he's like, "This is why." You ever notice during sermons you can't stand up and ask a question?
Yeah.
Not just the preacher will shout you down, the people in the pew.
Yeah, you can't refute nobody.
Nah, pretty
Not
much.
even refute. Not even refute. Just ask
a
a
question.
constructive question.
Yeah.
A lot of times they don't read a verse, so you can ask a question.
Yeah, and then when they do ask a verse and you ask a question about it, and they, and then you go and try to ask them about that and everything. Well, what about this? Well, you say it's this, but the book says this. So, what say you to that? And they'll just look at you like, where's security at? And call this man out the room.
I just remember who it was. Creflo Dollar. He said that people that come to his church and not pay tithes.
Yeah.
This one guy, he was telling me that tithes don't have to be in money. But anyway, the guy was saying, no, I looked at the video. Creflo Dollar said he wish he could take his parishioners that don't pay tithes in the form of money out in the back and shoot them.
Shoot them. Dig a hole for them and shoot them. Line them up and shoot them and put them in the hole.
You seen that video too, right?
Yeah, I seen the video on that Creflo. I don't like that dude. Look, this is the type of dude that would sit down there and read scripture and have everybody put money in his doggone pocket. Do you see that one? He'll put money. He had everybody put money in his pocket.
There was one time when people were throwing money up on the stage and he was
running across.
Oh Lord Jesus! And he's picking up all the money.
Yeah, they were running across money. Let me know the money. Let me know the money. It was him and the other guy. What's that dude's name?
I forget. Ripping dollars.
Light-skinned guy. I forgot his name.
TD Jakes or
No, it was another guy. One Jakes. It was
I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name.
I forgot his name though, but it was another guy running across the money. I'm gonna anoint this money. How you anoint money?
Oh, that's so true.
What's so sad though is all those hundreds, maybe even thousands of people out there putting that money on those steps.
Yeah. They blessing.
They go right there, pay for Creflo jet fuel for his doggone private jet.
Yeah, pretty much.
One of them, I got it from this video. See, this is why you remember how I said I don't care where the truth comes from. I'm not gonna write somebody off. It could be a racist plan. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I'll listen. It might piss me off, but I'm gonna go and fact check. I learned this from this dude that his name is called that Revolutionary with Tattoos. He got some vulgar language, so if y'all ever look at him, if you've seen him before, you know what I'm talking about. He got a video where he got his parishioners to pay to replace the propeller blade on his helicopter.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
To pay for what?
You talking about Creflo?
He took their tithes and he told them. So it wasn't like he was, he told the parishioners, hey, I need to get my propeller. And he's a millionaire, the pastor. He's already a millionaire, separate from the tithes. I need $50,000 to replace the propeller blade on my helicopter. They gave him the money.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
Poor,
Top of the Ponzi scheme.
Downtrodden sheep. In this time of economic upheaval and strife, they are paying this man so he could fix his propeller blades on his helicopter.
That's ridiculous. That's seriously ridiculous, man. I mean, it's not even just those people too that are wanting for the money. I mean, there's some other ridiculous ones out there, like Benny Hinn out there throwing fire on everybody. Like, oh my God. Oh, y'all seen that?
You don't want him to lay his hands on you. Make you fall out.
Oh my God. Yeah, he'll just throw his hands on you, and then they'll just fall out on the floor and start shaking
hit
and
you with
stuff.
a jacket. Doesn't sweat on him.
He can blow on Bishop Eddie Long getting the men to be people, men and boys, to be in homosexual relationships with him to be safe.
Wow.
How about that? I'm sorry, ain't enough saving in the world for me to let you do that, bro.
No, not even. That's pretty ridiculous. That's pretty hard, man. That's pretty hard.
Like you said, Hebrew man, they don't care. People just don't care anymore.
They don't, and that's the main word that you hear from every last one of them. I don't care. I don't care. That don't matter. I don't care. Like, oh.
Why doesn't the truth matter? Why doesn't the truth matter? I'm not even devout as y'all claim. claim to be. I'm talking about the people that's telling us that they don't care. Even me, that's standing on the outside looking in, I'm just like, that don't look right. Why? How can y'all tolerate this?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And you know what? As a matter of fact, we can actually save that one for another time.
All right, go ahead.
We
Yeah.
gotta go. I'm about to go. I'm getting sleepy.
Yeah, we're it's getting a little late over here too. So
I've
Man,
been
whatever, man. It ain't before 30 here.
It's like what 9:30. Look, I've been moving all weekend. I just moving is big too. So I'm tired.
Yeah, man, it's 10:35 over here, and I gotta go do my slave work tomorrow. So
Man, wage
yeah,
slave, bro.
yeah, but but you know what though, man? I mean, like I said, guys, this is really good right here and everything, and I've really enjoyed y'all on this show today and everything. I mean, this lasted like a whole lot longer than I was expecting it
Is this
to
gonna be on
last.
YouTube?
Well, yes, it is. It is. It's gonna be on YouTube for everybody to re-show.
Under your channel?
Yeah, under my channel. Like as soon as I hit stop broadcast, it's gonna upload and it's gonna be on there. Yep. So y'all can reshare it. Do whatever you got to do on it and everything. Like I said. So yeah. So I mean that's the word for today, guys. That's why we named this thing the narrow path. We named this thing the narrow path because there's only a few. There's only a few that are really getting it. And, out there's others out there that think that they're getting it and they're still not getting it, but we, at the same time, we don't just, neglect everybody, out there. We try to bring, what is real to the table. What is real and what is true, because like Nihilist was saying, that it started off of him wanting to know something. He wanted to know something just like all of us because it's just there within you, that spirit of truth. The spirit of truth. Yeah. That spirit of truth comes in and then it starts to move you, starts moving in ways that you wouldn't even have thought that you would move into. Like myself, I can obviously vouch for that. I never thought I would be on here, doing what we're doing right now.
I love it.
It's nice. Yeah, it is. It's nice. It's really nice, and it's gonna keep going as long as we still have this. It's gonna keep going. So like I said, guys, the next time I do this again, because like I said, I do some individual shows here and there, in between time and everything. If you ever wanted to go check those out and everything, but I'm gonna try to keep doing these on Saturdays. I know that's really hard to do since the way the system is set up. A lot of people work on Saturdays and everything. Yeah, but
I'm on leave now, so I'll probably be like after next Saturday. I'll probably be at work, bro.
Yeah. So I
work nights here, so I'll be gone.
I got you. But you know what? It's all good because
Paris will be here.
yeah. There's one. But
me and my wife. She's smarter than me.
Hey man, it's good. It's good to know where your place is, man. I'd like to have me a woman that's smarter than me. Anyway.
True.
Anyway.
But yeah, guys.
I'll let y'all guys sleep, bro.
Alright,
yeah, all y'all take care, man.
Why, son? We in the dark here.
Man, I'm about to go out and freaking have a walk, bro.
Love you guys.
Love you too, man.
It's all love. Shalom.
Slow. Alright, double.
Take care, guys.
Alright, now we get off here. I'm gonna be last one on here. Alright.
All right, brother. Take care. All right, guys. That does it for another episode of The Narrow Path. Join us in next time. Until then, saying to all of you, Shalom.